To have seats behind home plate, there is where you enter. You come in the magnificent rotunda here at Safeco Field. It is a beautiful night as the Mariners return home from a short but fairly sweet road trip, winning 2 of 3 from the Angels. It's the first game of a 3-game series between the Mariners and the Cleveland Indians. A lovely night into you all. Good evening, everybody. Dave Nias along with Ron Fairley. The Mariners are done with the West for quite a while. They're done with clubs at Tree in Arizona for quite a while, and they start out now against the Cleveland Indians. In retrospect, the trip through the West the first time wasn't that bad at all.
No, it wasn't. It's very good. In fact, we said at the very beginning, if the Mariners could go 10-9, they'd be very, very happy. Well, as it turns out, they win one more game than what we somewhat predicted. But 11-8, nothing wrong with that. And you're right. I'm tired of looking at those teams there in Arizona. We've seen them now and played against them for a month and a half.
The one thing that kind of sticks out at me as we just went off the standings there is how well that team at the bottom played. They're only 3 games out. The Texas Rangers, I think that they're going to be a factor all year long.
You know, when you talk to a lot of the hitters down there in the Mariner uniform, the Texas Rangers, they have some very good arms with them. Now, how well they're going to perform, we don't know just yet, but the Texas Rangers have improved out there on the mound immensely.
The Cleveland Indians now are in the focus in the crosshairs. They've won their last 2 games. They have beaten the Chicago White Sox, and they're in what they call a rebuilding stage. If you're a Cleveland Indian fan, it probably means you're going to have to probably wait until next year, but there are going to be some highlights of this year, and the Mariners don't want tonight to be one of them. Nice to have the families. Dad, the little boy, and his elder son coming in. Good to have you with us. We'll be back with the lineups right after this.
At 24 Hour Fitness, you'll find everything under one roof, including all the latest classes, from yoga to cycling to kickboxing. Get 50% off enrollment fee, 50% off your renewal. Call 1-800-204-2400. There are month-to-month memberships. We even have kids clubs. Call 1-800-204-2400 now. Offer ends soon. We have over 300 locations and one near you. 24 Hour Fitness. Why go anywhere else?
Diamonds. The Jewelry Exchange is a direct diamond importer. The Jewelry Exchange has thousands of diamonds, most with GIA or EGL certs, laser inscribed and guaranteed the lowest price. 1-carat solitaires are $5.99, 1-carat studs $3.99. The Jewelry Exchange has thousands of rings, pendants, earrings, and bracelets, and specializes in platinum and invisible settings. Only the Jewelry Exchange gives you a low price and double value guarantee. Buy factory direct. The Jewelry Exchange in Renton.
Introducing 54321, the show that brings you inside the world of extreme sports. You're watching Fox Sports Net.
No, I understand we're late, but things have been a little hard. We're really trying. Well, my husband has a second job. Well, no, I know that, but we're trying really hard, and it's just that... yes, I know... Well... Yeah. I understand it's a final notice.
Peanut, get your hot roasted peanut. Hot nuts are for winners. You look like you could use the peanuts. Here you go. Hot roasted peanut. Alley-oop with the peanuts. So there you go. Coming at you over there. Peanut, the snack of champions.
Looks like Oregon's ready for Major League Baseball.
Come together for the greatest night in sports television as the Best Damn Sports Show period presents the 24th Annual Sports Emmy Awards. And the winner is Sunday at 6 on Fox Sports Net.
And this evening, Seattle Mariners baseball is brought to you by Coors, real golden beer, official sponsor of Guys Night Out. By Nextel, how business gets done. Call 1-800-NEXTEL-9. By Pennzoil. we're driving protection. By Safeco Insurance, insurance and investments and baseball. And by Southwest Airlines, more than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country. As I mentioned, good to be home amongst the confines of the magnificent place they call Safeco Field. We are here for 6 games, 3 against the Cleveland Indians, 3 against the Detroit Tigers. And the days, as you can see, are beginning to get a bit longer here in the Northwest. Let's look at tonight's starting lineup, Red.
All right, let's take a look at Southwest Airlines starting lineup. First of all, for the Cleveland Indians, it'll be Bradley, Vizquel, Garcia, Burks, Larton, Bard, Blake, Hafner, and then Phillips. Kareem Garcia, 5 of his 13 hits this year have been home runs, so he's been using the long ball lately with an 8-game hitting streak. Freddie Garcia, in his 3 losses, Mariners have scored only a total of 2 runs for him. He went 7 innings in his last outing and has a 3-1 lifetime record against the Cleveland Indians. Defensively, behind Freddie Garcia, here's the way the Mariners line up. It'll be Wynn, Cameron, and Ichiro in the outfield. Cirillo, Guillen, Boone, and Olerud around the infield. Dan the Man Wilson behind home plate. Look at that. Mariners committed only 3 errors in their 11 wins this season. That's a good sign.
Milton Bradley leads it off, and Freddie Garcia, his first delivery, is down low. .57 degrees, the wind's out of the southwest at 7 miles an hour. Jeff Kellogg is the man calling balls and strikes, and he gets that right hand in the air, and the count at a ball and a strike. Great change by Freddie Garcia. And that's a good sign early. He's got that pitch. He'll be tough all night long. Milton Bradley, a switch hitter. Kid playing on about 60% good legs right now. He's got a little bit of a hamstring pull. He's got good speed. Probably won't run everything out 100% tonight because of that. Out of the Montreal organization, came over in the Bartolo Colon deal. And rakes one right to Boone. And you can see he's not running full out on his way to first base. 1 down.
Take a look at Freddie Garcia's numbers this year, this being his 5th start of the year. Record of 1-3, ERA a little bit high for Freddie. He's worked in 23 innings, walks, strikeouts, and the opposing batting average of .256 against the big right-hander.
Omar Vizquel, the ex-Mariner, takes down low and outside, ball 1-0. Hard to believe that Omar Vizquel is the lone remaining Cleveland Indian that was in the Cleveland Indian opening day lineup or on the club when Jacobs Field opened in 1994. Strike on the inside corner, and of course it was 10 years ago today in 1993 where he pulled off a spectacular play to save Chris Basio's no-hitter. Foul back and out of play. Vizquel with a 6-game hitting streak. We talk about Edgar Martinez on his way to 2,000 hits, and he's only 10 away. Omar Vizquel will be 36 on Thursday. And Omar's only 59 hits away from 2,000 in his career. Finally had his string of gold gloves snapped last year, 9 consecutive gold gloves, when Alex Rodriguez of the Rangers won his first. Threw his bat at the ball, and the count's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Makes his home in Issaquah from Venezuela. Broken bat off the end of the bat, and a little blooper hit right to Guillen. So 3 Venezuelans involved in that play. The pitcher, the hitter, and the shortstop.
Well, here's the guy we said that has been swinging the bat well lately. Working right now on an 8-game hitting streak, in which time he's hit 4 home runs and driven in 9. But there are the numbers there. We said 5 of the 13 hits he has this year have been long balls.
This is one of the Dodger kids of several years ago that was ticketed for superstardom. Out of Ciudad Obregon, signed by the Dodgers, Kareem Garcia. Obviously didn't work out that well for Garcia in the Dodger organization, and that is down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. And we're going to see another one tomorrow night on the mound for the Cleveland Indians, Ricardo Rodriguez. High fly ball, didn't get the good part of the bat on it, and an easy catch for Ichiro, and an easy first inning for Mr. Freddie Garcia. 1, 2, 3. The Tribe comes up empty. We'll head to the bottom of the first as the M's come aboard. After this, from our good friends at Southwest Airlines.
I began losing my hair about a year ago. Is it ever going to stop?
What causes it to fall out anyway?
Let's say I'm ready to do something about my hair loss. What are my options? Why me?
It's hard to know what to do when you start losing your hair. That's where Bosley Medical comes in. For over 25 years, people have turned to us for answers to their questions about hair loss and hair restoration.
So what is natural hair restoration?
Where does the hair come from? Is it permanent?
Does the hair actually grow?
To find out, just call this toll-free number. We'll send you this free video and comprehensive guidebook that give you the real facts about hair loss and the choices you have for dealing with it. Financing is available, so call now and discover how Bosley Medical has advanced the science of natural hair restoration, how they use your own living hair to fill in the thin spots. You'll also meet people who were once losing their hair and see what they looked like then and now.
But here's the big question. Do you think my barber will remember me?
Learn about all your options. Call now and get the information you need to determine if hair restoration is right for you.
Nightly at 10, it's the Northwest Sports Report. It's the nightly newscast you've been waiting for.
This is the real deal.
60 minutes every night dedicated. And beyond.
We told you it was going to be good. Your team, your town, your show.
The Northwest Sports Report, nightly at 10 on Fox Sports Net.
Easy first inning for Freddie Garcia. Let's take a look at the Mariners Southwest Airlines starting lineup. It'll be Ichiro, Wynn, Boone, Martinez, Olerud, Cameron, Guillen, Cirillo, and then Wilson. Brett Boone, the last 9 games, batting .389 with 5 home runs. And out there on the mound, C.C. Sabathia. Boy, he's a big one. He's won 32 games in his first 2 major league seasons. And since August and September last year, a 7-2 record. Big left-hander out of the Bay Area in Southern California, in central part of California.
6'7", 290 pounds he's listed at. 2-0 the count on Ichiro. The Indians 7-12, 8 games back of the surprising Kansas City Royals, the leaders in the American League Central. .3-0 on Ichiro. Inside corner strike. Randy Wynn is the on-deck man. Brandon Phillips kicks the ball. That'll be an error on that young man.
All right, let's take a look at the defensive alignment behind Sabathia tonight. Here's the way the Indians are stacking up as they commit their first error of the game. It'll be Lawton, Bradley, and Garcia in the outfield. Blake, Vizquel, Phillips, and Hafner around the infield. Bard behind the plate. Out there in the mound, C.C. Sabathia. He's only 22 years of age. How about Omar? 9 career Gold Gloves out there at shortstop. Some people think he might be the best fielding shortstop in the game today. There's a lot of arguments that would go along and support that.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that he's the best fielding shortstop in the game today and has been for years. There are those who think he might be the greatest fielding shortstop in history. That's how good he is. He's great range, great balance, great arm. a fly ball to fairly deep left field and back near the warning track, or on the warning track and near the fence. The left fielder, Matt Lawton, makes the catch. Not quite enough. You could tell it as it left the bat, it wasn't going to get out of here. But nice long fly out for Wynn, 1 down.
There are the numbers for Sabathia this year. In his 4 starts, the team is 0-4. And Sabathia with a record of 0-2.
Sabathia growing up in the Bay Area, and a huge Oakland A's fan as a kid. That's over, but it's low to Boone. Boone's having a fine start. Had a great road trip down in Anaheim, of course. With a couple of long balls on the outside corner, and the count of the ball and the strike.
A lot of times we have seen runners at first base tag up and go to second on a fly balls hit that deep, especially when you know it's not going to leave the yard.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot already early this year, more than I can remember at this particular stage of the season, which has just really begun. Buttons popping on the Booney's shirt that time with that cut. The ball and 2 strikes.
Well, Booney's been hot. He's hit 5 home runs in the last 9 games. Got his average up over 300 now.
The Cleveland Indians, a new manager, a kind of a who in the world is this guy type of a manager, and there he is on your right, standing next to Buddy Bell, who was interviewed for the Mariners job. Strike on the outside corner, and Brett Boone is down on strikes. His name is Eric Wedge. At one time, he was going to be the next great catcher with the Boston Red Sox, and he had injuries in his playing career, ended up not playing that many games. He's a very intense young man. He's a disciple of Bobby Knight. He grew up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, although he went to school in Wichita. And he's a great Bobby Knight fan, and very, very focused. And his ball players know when they've done something wrong, because he will get in their face. And you know Bobby Knight's reputation. He's either revered or hated. In mid-America, around Bloomington, Indiana, you're not going to find too many who hate him. Fastball is on the outside corner for a strike. 0-2 to Edgar Martinez, 10 hits away from the 2,000 hit club. Sabathia thinking Ichiro is going to be off. Sabathia is C.C. Sabathia, but he's getting so big, wouldn't surprise me one of these days if his nickname isn't USS Sabathia. He's 290 pounds.
And he gets a lot of the power by using those great big thick legs of his and pushing off the rubber.
Line down the right field line, Edgar Martinez just misses a base hit, probably an extra base hit.
Years ago, the Cleveland Indians had a pitcher by the name of Barry Latman.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Barry, big right-hander?
I remember Barry Latman when he pitched for the Los Angeles Angels.
Okay. Now, you know Barry, and Barry every spring training used to order his uniform. He says, give me a size 54 jersey and give me some 40 pants that are a little bit long and baggy. And they said, well, that's too big a uniform. He says, don't worry about it. By the All-Star break, I can grow into it. Well, I think that's what C.C. Sabathia is doing out there.
Edgar might put that one in the seats, and it won't go in the seats, but it'll bounce on the tarp and get back. Travis Hafner, the kid from North Dakota, couldn't get to it. Travis Hafner went to high school in North Dakota. There were 8 men in his graduating high school class. Never had 4 boys and 4 girls. You never had to worry about a prom date. Kid out of the Texas Ranger system. Edgar takes down low and inside, delayed steal, and an easy steal for Ichiro, number 4. A fly ball to deep left center field, but drifting back on it is Milton Bradley. And the man who made millions of dollars in game shows makes the catch. Young man can play out there. No runs, no hits, an error, and a man left, and after 1, no score.
Looking good, guys.
Cool shirt.
Thank you.
Hey, John, what's going on?
Oh, we're trying to schedule Friday thing.
Mariners baseball. Viva la mojo.
That's just not right.
Where legends are made and champions are born. Fox Saturday Baseball returns May 17th.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
After 82 games, it all comes down to this. The NBA playoffs. There's nothing like the playoffs. And there's nothing like being there. The Blazers take on the Dallas Mavericks in round 1 of the Western Conference playoffs. Friday, April 25th and Sunday, April 27th. Call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or visit Blazers.com.
Hi, Ed Tonkin for Ron Tonkin Honda and Gresham Honda. With 2 Honda dealerships, you get something unique. The biggest selection with the smallest prices. In fact, we've just received this month's allocation of CRVs. And we can offer you these CRVs starting at just $18,995. And unlike many other Honda dealers, we don't add any additional dealer markup. So come see us at Gresham Honda on East Burnside or Ron Tonkin Honda out 122nd Way. Tonkin Honda, all for the love of cars.
And welcome back on a nice evening, 57 degrees at game time. This is Ellis Burks, a strike on the outside corner. Ellis Burks in August of last year also picked up his 2,000th hit. Ellis, 38 years of age. Hanging breaking ball, and he got away with it. So an easy catch. And 3 of the 4 outs have been in the air. Time now for our Geico Direct moment. Geico Direct, the sensible alternative. Bob Melvin, ask about Freddie Garcia. Is he concerned about Freddie Garcia? He's had some good, some not great, and some bad outings. What's he have to say about it?
Freddie's pitched fine. You know, there have been a couple games he's had some good starts and a couple ones that he probably, you know, thinks he could probably do a little better, but consistency is all I'm looking for him. And, you know, he's going to go out there and now we're getting our pitch counts up a little bit, and we're looking for him to go a little bit deeper into games and keep us in the game like he's done. So, you know, we're just looking for him to get a little bit better and a little more consistent each time out, and I know he's looking for the same thing.
So, that our Geico Direct moment. A quote from Bomel about Freddie Garcia. Actually, what he's looking for from Freddie Garcia is the Freddie Garcia pre-All-Star game last year, because since the All-Star game last year, Freddie Garcia struggled. He's 6-8 with a 5.56 ERA, including this year's mark. So he's got the great stuff. They just want him to show up and be the ace. Spins around Matt Lawton. Lawton is struggling. He's 0 for his last 9. Lawton had a couple of good years with the Minnesota Twins. And since that time, he's not exactly struggled, but he hasn't had those type of years. And you can see this year, he's struggling a little bit. There's a base hit. First base hit of the ball game. Lawton snaps out at 0 for 9. Beautiful night out on Elliott Bay. As we mentioned, the day's getting longer now as we approach the end of April. Cleveland was one of the clubs that gave the Mariners a bit of a battle last year and a bit of a problem. They finished only 4-3 against Cleveland. Throw over to first base and Lawton back on his hands and knees.
Time call as Lawton slipped. He was trying to get back to the first base bag. Almost didn't make it. Doing a little bit of gardening out there in the dirt.
Josh Bard, a 4-game hitting streak.
Tremendous asset to be able to switch hit. Josh Bard is certainly going to remember the first major league game in which he played. It was against the Mariners last year, and ended up hitting a home run in the 9th inning, or extra innings anyway, that won the game.
Down low.
Has some size to him. He's 6'3", weighs 215 pounds. Came over from the Colorado Rockies a couple of years ago.
Bard fouls it back. When Bard hit that home run against the Mariners in August to give the Tribe a 4-2 win over the Mariners, it's only the second time in history that a player had hit a walk-off home run in his major league debut. The only other time it happened was the Angels had a kid by the name of Billy Parker who did it in his debut in September of '71. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Speaking of Bobby Knight, Josh Bard went to Texas Tech. A little outside. 3-2. There goes Lawton. A pitch swung on and hit foul into and out of the stands off the first base side. We mentioned Cleveland rebuilding. You bet they are. They have 7 rookies on this ball club, and before the year's over, there might be a few more than that, one might think. Ricky Gutierrez, the fine infielder's neck surgery. He won't be with the club until at least June. There goes a runner, and the pitch is sliced down the left field line, and that will go into the stand.
Also, I was looking at the lineup, Dave, and there's only 40 years of major league experience in the lineup this evening. And the 40 years is basically Ellis Burks, Omar Vizquel, and Lawton, those 3 guys. And they represent 35 years of it, so the remaining 6 guys have less than 5 years of major league experience.
Lawton goes again. Eddie Murray to be inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame. They're hitting coach back with the Cleveland Indians, for whom he hit his 500th career home run.
Mr. Murray.
Yeah, but I'll always remember him as an Oriole.
I think most people will.
There he goes again, and the pitch is hit to left field and down the line into the corner. And Wynn has time this time in foul territory to make the catch. Has the room barely. Two years make a heck of a difference. Look at this. Omar Vizquel, we were talking about him being the only one when Jacobs Field opened left. He was the only one from 2 years ago left in the starting lineup.
Boy, there's a different look to that lineup, too. I mean, you had Jim Thome, Robbie Alomar, Juan Gonzalez. I mean, they had some thunder up and down that lineup.
Curveball on the outside corner to Casey Blake.
Blake signed as a free agent. Was originally in the Toronto organization, 7th round pick for the Blue Jays. Average down just a little bit early in the year.
Curve low and outside. Casey's no kid. He's 29.
Boy, Doug, looking at different uniforms out there. The last month and a half, the Mariners are playing the same teams. Down there in Arizona, I think Texas, Anaheim, Oakland. Start the season against them. Good to see different uniforms. Different players.
The Detroit Tigers, winners of only one, and they've lost 16. They'll be here over the weekend. They're in tough again tonight. They're down in Oakland and trailing the A's 1-0 in the second inning.
Is he in the batter's box? Mariners won't say anything about that.
Curveball pulled fair, and a long throw by Cirillo. Nice play on both ends. Good lean over at first by Olerud. A long throw by Cirillo. No runs, one hit, and one left. They won't say anything about that because of Edgar Martinez.
That's right.
So we go to the bottom half of the second, and still no score.
I began losing my hair about a year ago. Is it ever going to stop?
What causes it to fall out anyway? Let's say I'm ready to do something about my hair loss. What are my options? Why me?
It's hard to know what to do when you start losing your hair. That's where Bosley Medical comes in. For over 25 years, people have turned to us for answers to their questions about hair loss and hair restoration.
So what is natural hair restoration? Where does the hair come from? Is it permanent?
Does the hair actually grow?
To find out, just call this toll-free number. We'll send you this free video and comprehensive guidebook that give you the real facts about hair loss and the choices you have for dealing with it. Financing is available, so call now and discover how Bosley Medical has advanced the science of natural hair restoration, how they use your own living hair to fill in the thin spots. You'll also meet people who were once losing their hair and see what they looked like then and now.
But here's the big question. Do you think my barber will remember me?
Learn about all your options. Call now and get the information you need to determine if hair restoration is right for you.
Sports' biggest names come together for the greatest night in sports television as the Best Damn Sports Show Period presents the 24th Annual Sports Emmy Awards. And the winner is... Be there as the greatest athletes in the world gather in New York City to relive the sports year's most historic moments. The Angels, world champions. Join host Joe Buck for sports television's most spectacular night, the 24th Annual Sports Emmy Awards, Sunday at 6 on Fox Sports Net.
Start your Sunday with NASCAR This Morning. Get the inside track from the pre-race show that'll have your motor running before the green flag drops. NASCAR This Morning on Fox Sports Net.
First baseman John Olerud starts it. here in the second. No score between the Mariners and the Indians, the first of a 3-game series. One on John.
See the season numbers for Olerud. Last year had a very good year average-wise against the Indians. Hit .412. Has a great career average, .343 against Cleveland.
And he starts off 0-3 with a base hit against the Tribe. So leadoff man aboard this weekend, kiddos. The Mariners hosting the Tigers. Boeing Salute to Kids Weekend, presented by Como 1000 News. On Saturday, 7:05, the first 15,000 kids 14 and under picking up a M.Cameron t-shirt. Then on Sunday at 1:05, the first 15,000 kids going to snag an Edgar t-shirt, courtesy of Boeing. It's going to be a kid-rific weekend. So get your tickets now. You log on to SeattleMariners.com. One and on Cameron.
That Angels series, Mariners banged out 13 doubles. They had 4 home runs, so they had 17 extra base hits down there in Anaheim.
Fly ball popped up to shallow center. One down. Bit of a wrinkle in that one, probably a slider. 79 miles an hour.
Not a bad curveball for Sabathia. Still needs to work on it somewhat. Good changeup, though. And a very lively fastball. His fastball is in the mid-90s. Anywhere from 92 to 96, maybe 97 miles an hour.
CC Sabathia, true southpaw. Look at that hat.
Well, yeah, you can't put the hat on straight.
No, he's got, you see Chief Wahoo, the symbol, the Cleveland Indian controversial symbol, it's not centered at all straight up and down over his nose. It's over his right eye. Dan Wilson with the count 0-2. Or rather, Carlos Guillen 0-2 on him. Jeff Cirillo next.
Also, when you watch a left-hander walk, it almost looks like he's shooting pool. He's got that one arm going.
Change.
We said he has a very good changeup. Outstanding fastball. Young man has a lot of talent. He's just 22 years of age, just learning how to pitch.
Chased a bad ball. So 2 down, second strikeout for Sabathia.
That might have been the changeup we were just talking about.
And here's Cirillo. Space Needle, the setting sun kissing the glass of the buildings down there facing westward. Rather nice picture. Fly ball hit deep to left field by Cirillo, but this ball is going to be fouled. Home run deck. 1-1. Cirillo 1 for 4 in his career against Sabathia.
A little tough to come up with anybody that's hitting well against Sabathia or not hitting well. They haven't faced him that much.
At the knees. 89-mile-an-hour fastball.
Sabathia last year got off to a very slow start. You can see what he did in his first 22 starts. Nothing that impressive. But his last 11, he was very impressive, winning 7 of the 9 decisions there. In fact, he worked into the 7th inning or more in 9 of his last 11 starts.
Got a chance to be a base hit if it stays fair. It's going to hit the bag. Base hit.
Just did get the corner of the bag. Look at it again. Little tapper. Hits the grass and stays right there. Look at this. Where does that hit? Right on the corner. No defense for that. And that'll bring a smile to Cirillo's face. Open the homestand with the base knock.
And Wilson takes that backdoor slider for a strike. Mighty close. 1-1. Inside. One barely outside, one well inside, and the count 2-1. Chain strike on the inside corner, 2-2. Sabathia going to his mouth, but he also walked down onto the grass. Fastball and a fly ball popped up to center fielder Milton Bradley. And the Mariners get a couple of hits, but they leave 2 out there. When we come back in the third, Travis Hafner, Brandon Phillips, and Milton Bradley. No score. The Emerald City bathed in the gold of the setting sun.
Randy wins. I got it. Randy. Win, lose, or draw. The wind beneath my wings.
Just doesn't feel right.
What about win-win situation?
No.
Winnie the Pooh.
No way.
The Randinator.
Randy, be open-minded. This is the guy who came out with Cammy and Nellie.
And Shiggy. That's right, and Shiggy.
Mariners baseball. Viva la Mojo.
Let's go with Winnie.
I believe Pierre Moneymark will work hard. They try to finance your future, not your past.
With only $300 in my wallet, I didn't have $1,000 down or anything, and an hour and a half later, I drove away in a red Mustang.
They sell a lot of cars and, help a lot of people.
Poor guy that sold me the car had to drive all the way to Paulsboro to get some paperwork at 1 o'clock in the morning. So they definitely went the extra mile.
800-800-8553.
Introducing 54321, the show that brings you inside the world of extreme sports.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
No score, getting set to go to the third inning of play here at Safeco Field. A lovely sunset continues to dazzle everybody looking out that way. Get ready to have some fun on Friday because it's going to be 70s night. Get your platform shoes out, your butterfly collar. Yeah, because that's 70s night. Presented by EMP and Star 101.5. Mariners hosting the Tigers. Going to be a costume contest, lots of groovy 70s music. SeattleMariners.com, that's your place to get your tickets.
You still have some of that stuff at home?
Absolutely not.
When the trash can...
I wasn't born in the 70s. Travis Hafner. 2 strikes on him. I don't think I do, Red. I might. Hafner had a tough start to the year. He started out 0 for 27. He was one of the kids that came over from the Texas Rangers in the deal for Einer Diaz and Ryan Drees. Jammed him and he popped it up. And I think Ole's going to have a shot. Yep.
Hit it to the guy with the good hands.
There's a 1977 Mariners cap, except they didn't, around the air holes, it didn't have the white. And they didn't have the white around the bill of the cap. They didn't have the white button on top. But that was the logo the first year of the Seattle Mariners, that trident. So a little bit of a retro cap there. Into the gap goes this shot by Brandon Phillips, but it's run down by M.Cameron. So 21-year-old Brandon Phillips is retired. And Milton Bradley, the hitter. And one of the Montreal Expos prize kids came over for Cologne. Actually, he was not involved in the Cologne deal. He came over for a right-hander by the name of Zach Day. Laid off a high fastball. Second-round draft choice of the Spurs in '96.
Eight of the first 10 batters Garcia has started off strike one.
Down low with a change. Milton Bradley making his home in Long Beach, California. Where'd you go to school there?
Jordan High School.
Jordan. You went to Poly.
Went to Poly. Well, they had the 3 schools, Wilson, Jordan, and Poly, were the 3 big high schools there in Long Beach years ago. They've since added some others. There's been a lot of very good athletes have come out of those schools, primarily Poly. And Wilson baseball. A lot of baseball guys have come out of Wilson.
Curveball, lost him. So Freddie with his first walk. And a little old will be the hitter.
Omar comes in the ball game with a little 6-game hitting streak going. Not very big, but I'll tell you what, he can pull a fastball. He can pull anybody's fastball left-handed. Mariners found out about that in the playoffs. They tried to jamming with a fastball, and he tripled there in Cleveland right down the right field line.
Cirillo in on the grass at third.
Got to play in at third base and make Omar swing the bat. If you play even with a bag, he'll bunt on you, and he can beat it out. You have to get in on the grass.
Well, after walking Bradley, he's behind Omar. 3-0.
Well, it's kind of important, Freddie, that we have said all year long. He has to keep the fastball down. And the big thing probably is don't let the umpire or a bad play behind him upset him. He has a chance to out there in the mountain every now and then. He gets a little bit upset if things aren't going exactly the way he'd like them to go.
I don't think Bradley's going to be going anywhere because, as we mentioned, he has that bad hamstring. And we are told he's only running at about 60%. Base hit to center field. Nice easy stroke, so Bradley pulls up at second base. That'll bring up Kareem Garcia.
Yeah, and Omar now with a 7-game hitting streak. We were saying about the veterans on this Cleveland club. Vizquel, Garcia has a couple of years in the big leagues, but then Burks and Matt Lawton do up after Garcia. And you're starting to get into the veterans, and you have to be careful of these guys. Garcia has good power the last 2 days. Burks, 4 extra base hits, 3 home runs. Garcia, 5 for 10. These guys are hot. These are the guys that you don't want to have come up to the plate with men on base.
Well, Garcia's had a sore left wrist, but he hit 2 home runs yesterday in Chicago. Off the end of the bat and a pop-up. And Cirillo was there to take charge and make the catch for the final out. So a hit, a walk, 2 left, no runs. As we go to the bottom half of the third, we continue to say ta-ta to Old Saul. No score.
The way we see it, the third base coach is the most important man on the field. His purpose in life? To keep players protected. He's a human spreadsheet. Nature's perfect risk manager, a guardian angel in stirrup pants. He's a guidance counselor, there to keep people safe. And if a man who protects people for a living isn't worthy of baseball's highest honor, we don't know who is.
Hey everybody, Bill Wixie here. Mariners baseball coming your way tonight here on Fox Sports Net. We'll get it started with Mariners warm-up. Rich Waltz gets you primed for Game 2 against the Tribe, live from Safeco Field. It's all tonight at 6:30.
The best damn sports show, period. Sports television like you've never seen it before.
4 idiots sitting around talking sports. Great television.
Hang with the fellas. Cut loose with the stars.
What the hell does this have to do with sports?
Finally, a sports show that gets the picture. The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
On the next Beyond the Glory, Nick Van Exel had NBA talent, but also a chip on his shoulder.
He came in the league really with something to prove.
And was determined to establish himself as one of the league's best players.
He'll shoot you in or he'll shoot you out. He's not going to be a wallflower.
But his legendary temper threatened to end his career.
No, I paid for it. I'm probably still paying for that right now.
Nick Van Exel, Beyond the Glory, Sunday at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
Save up to 80% by buying factory direct. The Jewelry Exchange is a direct diamond importer and manufactures their jewelry direct. The Jewelry Exchange has thousands of diamonds and semi-mounts and guarantees the lowest price. The Jewelry Exchange's 1-carat platinum bands are $1,400. 1-carat 3-stone rings are $899. 3/4-carat bracelets are $149. 3-stone pendants are $99. And 1-carat studs are $399. You can't beat our deals. Buy factory direct and save. The Jewelry Exchange in Renton.
April 26th, catch a full day of Husky sports for free at the Spring Fling. It begins at 9 as the Husky crew clashes with Cal. Then at 10, the volleyballers take the court for a spring scrimmage. At 10:30, it's the Husky football experience for kids, followed by the Dogs in action in the spring games. At 1, it's baseball as Washington hosts the Bears. And at 2, the nationally ranked softball team takes on Cal. It wraps up at 3 with the alumni swim meet. Attend all the events and you'll be entered for some great prizes, including a trip for 2 on the Hudson Cruise, all at the Husky Spring Fling.
Introducing 54321, the show that brings you inside the world of extreme sports.
Mariners Weekly. Host Rich Waltz brings you interviews, insights, and highlights on the Seattle Mariners all season long. Mariners Weekly, today on Fox Sports Net.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the program.
Welcome back to Safeco Field. The Mariners in the Tribe. No score as we go to the fourth. And now Ellis Burks, the 38-year-old designated hitter, fouling it at the plate. Ellis Burks, 348 career home runs. Not quite over the outside corner, just missed. A good sinking fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike, but not quite getting the plate. Two and 1. The curveball. Meanwhile, Oakland leading Detroit 1-0 in the 5th. And the Angels leading the Yankees 2-1 in the 3rd. Fastball and a fly ball to center. So 1 down. And it's that time. Come on, Clyde. Come on, baby. How are you tonight, pal? You got the same one. Our Aflac trivia question. Since '87, which American League pitcher has recorded the most wins in his first 2 Major League seasons? It would be, what, in the last 6 years, huh? The American League pitcher that's recorded the most wins in his first 2 Major League seasons.
I think we know the answer to that one.
1 ball and 1 strike to count on Matt Lawton. Change a little low. The middle. So Matt Lawton is 2 for 2 as he's picking up his batting average now against Freddie Garcia.
You know, Freddie got a glove in that. He almost caught it. Look at this. Take a look at this one more time. How quickly Freddie reacts to this line drive. Almost got a glove. Well, he got a glove on, almost caught it.
Three hits aside now, and here's Josh Bard. The catch. The Indians on a 10-game road trip. Started out with 4 in Chicago, and they split. Runner goes, and the pitch is hit to left field straight away. So on the hit and run, Lawton will have to turn around and come back to first. 2 down. Blake grounded out. Cicerello made a fine play on him. Behind the bag at third. The Yellowhammer, the Yacker, Uncle Charlie, whatever you want to call it. An optical illusion, if you want to call it that.
I don't think
you're up there with a bat in your hand. It's no optical
illusion.
The curveball, the fastball down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Did not go. He's throwing a few more pitches than he would like to this particular part of the ball game.
Well, he's up to 71 pitches right now. And you're right, it's a little bit high.
Strike on the outside corner, 2-2 on Casey Blake.
Jim Slayton with the Mariners tonight. Former Major League pitcher. A lot of work down the Mariners minor league system.
So Carlos Guillen forces Mr. Lawton. And the 4th is over for the Tribe. A hit and a man left, and we go to the bottom half of the 4th. Still no score.
Nightly at 10, it's the Northwest Sports Report. It's the nightly newscast you've been waiting for.
This is the real deal.
60 minutes every night dedicated to scores, highlights, and interviews from your hometown and beyond.
We told you it was going to be good.
Your teams, your town, your show. The Northwest Sports Report, nightly at 10 on Fox Sports Net. You're watching Fox Sports Net.
For thousands of years, caravans have been used to move people. The same is true today. Hi, Ed Tonkin for Ron Tonkin Dodge, where this weekend Dodge is offering 0% financing for 60 months on caravans or up to a $3,500 rebate. And that's not all. They'll match your down payment up to $1,000. Ford won't do that. Chevy won't do that. Dodge will. Come in today for the best selection to Ron Tonkin Dodge on McLaughlin Boulevard in Gladstone or at Tonkin.com. All for the love of cars.
After 82 games, it all comes down to this. The NBA playoffs. There's nothing like the playoffs. And there's nothing like being there. The Blazers take on the Dallas Mavericks in round 1 of the Western Conference playoffs, Friday, April 25th and Sunday, April 27th. Call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or visit Blazers.com.
Well, we get set to go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Go to bed, Clyde. Your work's done for the night as we come back with the Aflac trivia answer. Since '87, which American League pitcher has recorded the most wins in his first 2 seasons? Well, big guy from Texas right there, Andy Pettitte with the Yankees. 33 wins in his first 2 years in the show. John Olerud taking his strike, 0-1.
Young man up there in the mound. C.C. Sabathia has won 30 games the last 2 years.
Olerud just about sticking it right into the corner perfectly. So the ball is bobbled out there by Matt Lawton. So Olerud, even despite the bobble, will pull up only at second base. Defense a little shaky for the Tribe.
Another nice stroke once again by John Olerud. There it is. You can see right down the line. It's in there in a hurry. The ball caromed, and Lawton not familiar with the carom, and then took his eye off the ball after tried to reach down and pick it up.
So the second inning in a row, the Mariners have started it off with a double. Cameron takes a little inside, I guess. 1-0.
Cameron had a pretty good year against the Indians last year, 308 batting average. A couple of home runs.
One.
Cameron looking to hit one to the right side of the diamond. Sabathia trying to prevent him from doing that. See, that last pitch was a changeup. 58 pitches thrown by Sabathia. Pitchers know what the hitters are trying to do a lot of times, and so they pitch accordingly.
Got him on the hip pocket or on the leg.
Back of the knee, it looked like. Cameron does not get out of the way of the ball very well at all. Look at it. Look at it. Gets him right in the back of the knee, or hitting or on the knee. Yep.
A little higher.
A little higher.
Up on the hip pocket area. A little padding there. Johnny Moses, I'm okay.
Let's see what Melvin's approach is here. What are you going to do with Guillen?
He's going to bunt. We've seen him do that a lot, and it's going to be a fair ball, and the sacrifice successful. Travis Hafner to Brandon Phillips, 3-4.
Well, you always want to run the ball hard. Run it out hard, because you don't know what the pitcher and first baseman or pitcher and third baseman, they may collide, they may get mixed up as to what they want to do. Look at that. They have a rough time to decide who's going to take it. So Guillen running hard, and had Guillen been hit with that ball, you would see that he was on the inside of the line. That would have been interference, and runners would have to go back.
Think that ball would have stayed fair if Hafner let it go?
Yeah, I think it would have.
So here's Cirillo. His little roller down the third base line hit the third base bag in the second, and that hits Cirillo. So 2 hit batsmen here in the inning, and the sacks are full. Breaking ball at the shoes of Cirillo.
Obviously, Sabathia is not trying to hit anybody. With that's going to bring up Mike Brown, the pitching coach, to
Carl Willis.
Carl Willis, I'm sorry.
Mike Brown was fired in spring training. Or reassigned, and Mike Brown, former Seattle Mariner, and Carl Willis given the job as the pitching coach of the Tribe. And Dan Wilson will be the hitter. So the Mariners are presented with another golden opportunity here. Every time Dan Wilson comes up in this situation, can still sing over to Kingdom. Breaking ball, low and inside. 1998 against the Detroit Tigers. And inside the park, grand slam home run.
I was kidding Dan afterwards. I said, did you slide or did you just run out of gas?
Good change. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball and a fly ball into right center field and deep. That's going to be over everybody's head. It's going to get all 3 in. Olerud is in. Cameron right behind him, and behind him, Jeff Cirillo on a bases clearing double by Dan Wilson. And the Mariners lead it 3-0.
Dave, I was looking out in right field, and I was about to say that Kareem Garcia was playing rather shallow and had no chance to get that ball, but was not playing very deep at all. Take a look at it one more time as Dan goes the other way. You couldn't tell from that particular camera shot, but he was not playing very deep at all.
So here's Ichiro now taking a strike. It is 3-0 Mariners. On 2. Trying to get out of the way of that.
Look what he is against left-handed pitching. Batting .419.
Red Sox hang on. They beat Texas 5-4. Yankees leading Anaheim now 4-2 in the 4th. Jorge Posada, a 3-run home run in the top of the 4th, and the Yankees are still at bat. That's going to be a foul ball. Tremendous bat control. Just almost serving the ball out there in left field.
Look at it again. There's the stride. Pitch that's outside, but still able to reach it.
The Mariners, after this homestand, open up their next road trip against the Yankees in New York, and that will be a zoo. What with the Mariners with Ichiro and, of course, Kazu. Roll down the third base line, a fair ball, off balance road. No way they're going to get it. So an infield hit. Wilson, of course, has to hold at second base.
No chance to get it. As you can see, he gets a good jump. He runs hard out of the batter's box, seeing that that ball is going to stay fair. Look at that. That ball may have been 6 to 8 inches outside. And the third baseman there, Blake, had no chance.
And it started out foul. And Spins sent it back fair. That ball hit foul territory out of the batter's spot.
Here's Randy Wynn.
Look, it landed right there in the batter's box. Well,
Wynn taking high and outside, ball 1. Of course, Shigetoshi Hasegawa to round out the Mariners' Japanese contingent, going back to New York with now Godzilla back there, Hideki Matsui. That is going to be a zoo when the Mariners show up there for Japanese media. A lot of the Japanese media have left the Mariners and gone to cover Matsui. So, well, it's always a zoo in New York.
Yeah, when is it not a zoo?
Yeah. Two and one.
Oh, years ago, we were getting ready to go onto the field there at Yankee Stadium, and one of the players told one of the young players on our team, he said, now when you go out in the field here at Yankee Stadium, don't feed the animals. 23 pitches thrown by Sabathia here in the inning. He has thrown 77.
And only one man down. Fastball, fly ball to Bradley. So 2 down.
Wynn trying to hit the ball the other way. Sabathia getting that fastball in on the hands, jammed. Randy Wynn just enough to get him to pop the ball up. Here's Mooney with another chance to drive it around. He's had a lot of chances so far this year.
Breaking ball in and over. High fastball.
A little bit more like it, 93 miles an hour. Expect that out of Sabathia.
Fastball strikes out Brett Boone, but a bases-loaded double by D.Wilson does the damage here in the 4th inning, and the Mariners get 3 on that double. And as we go to the 5th inning of play, they have taken the lead over the Tribe 3-0.
Love the extreme action of tubing, but think towables are a pain to inflate, transport, and store? Then get ready for the all-new AeroSports Firestorm from the makers of the world-famous AeroBed. No other towable is so easy to use. Just plug the exclusive DC pump into your car or boat and inflate the tube hands-free in under 60 seconds. Less setup on land means more fun in the water. The Firestorm has a giant 60-inch riding surface with large neoprene knee pads and comfort handles for a radical ride. And the Easy Connect tow system provides fast, secure, and stable center pulling. It features a heavy-duty construction tube and a 360-degree nylon cover. Plus, with the quick air release valve, it stores away in just seconds. Firestorm comes complete with Aero's exclusive 12-volt DC pump, all for just 3 easy payments of $46.99. Totally tubular action.
Call 1-800-472-0893 or visit a Boaters World near you to get your AeroSports Firestorm today.
Sports' biggest names come together for the greatest night in sports television as the Best Damn Sports Show Period presents the 24th Annual Sports Emmy Awards. And the winner is... Be there as the greatest athletes in the world gather in New York City to relive the sports year's most historic moments. The Angels, world champions. Join host Joe Buck for sports television's most spectacular night, the 24th Annual Sports Emmy Awards, Sunday at 6 on Fox Sports Net.
Nick Van Exel was determined to prove he was one of the NBA's best, but his legendary temper threatened to end his career.
I paid for it. I'm probably still paying for that right now.
Beyond the Glory, Sunday at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
Now time for the Banner Bank Building to the Future. We always like to talk about kids or teens at the minor league level. And down in Double-A ball in San Antonio, a young left-hander by the name of Randy Williams is 2-0 with an ERA of under 1 in 8 relief appearances. But his story is one of perseverance. He's been on the DL a couple of times. He's had Tommy John surgery, and he's pitching great for the Missions with that earned run average of under 1. Left-hander Randy Williams from Arlington, Texas. 0-1 the count on Travis Hafner, and the count of the ball and a strike. They'll make it 3-1. A little bit of no doubt about that one. Hafner got into that. We were watching him batting practice, and he was putting pitch after pitch out there into the seats in right field. So he has his 3rd home run of the year. Put that one in orbit.
And the 5th home run that Freddie Garcia has given up this year. Gave up 30 last year. Look at it one more time. Tried to sneak that fastball by him down low and in. The left-handers, they wear that pitch out. Didn't get far enough in. Freddie knew it.
Brandon Phillips is the hitter. Real confident kid is this 21-year-old. Real likable kid. Some might call him kind of hot doggish. The curve blowing outside to him. 2-1. Going right to the tarp and leaning over the tarp to backhand the ball and make the catch. Nobody does it any better.
If Olerud gets the ball, he'll catch it. That simple. We were referring to the other day, like a big net over there. You can hit the net, you're out. And on pop-ups, the thing about John is very good. He can also judge the ball in terms of the depth, how far back to go. Very good feeling. Very not good. He's an outstanding fielding first baseman.
Milton Bradley takes the sinker down low. And on the outside corner with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-1. Into the hole, so he's aboard now. And Omar Vizquel comes to the plate. He's 1 for 2. Friday, May 9. That's Hairmasters Class of 203 night, presented by Como 1000 News. The Mariners are going to be honoring this year's graduating class all game long. To get your class involved in Class of 2003 night, including the possibility of having one of your classmates throughout the ceremonial first pitch, all you have to do is call 206-346-4001 during regular business hours. Cleveland trying to come back. lined into center field, slicing back to Cameron.
Omar hit that one right on the nose. In fact, he hit it too hard. Look at that ball kind of slice into center field.
So 2 down, and here is Kareem Garcia.
Fly ball outs, 3 ground ball outs. It means that Freddie's not getting the ball down as well as he would like to.
90 pitches. In the 5th with 2 outs. Another base hit. So Garcia pushes Milton Bradley down to second base, and here's the ever-dangerous Ellis Burks.
9-game hitting streak now for Garcia.
It's even at a half a dozen apiece.
Outstanding DH in the American League. Edgar's won that 5 times.
Burks winning it last year. There's 32 home runs. Strike on the outside corner. Ellis Burks has had bad knees for a few years. Strike came up in the Boston Red Sox system. Big curveball, 1-2. Another curveball got him, so that will be that. A long ball from Travis Hafner, but 2 are left out there, and as we go to the bottom of the 5th, it's 3-1 Mariners.
At 24-Hour Fitness, you'll find everything under one roof, including all the latest classes, from yoga to cycling to kickboxing. Get 50% off enrollment fee, 50% off your renewal. Call 1-800-204-2400. There are month-to-month memberships. We even have kids clubs.
Call 1-800-204-2400 now. Offer ends soon. We have over 300 locations and one near you.
24-Hour Fitness. Why go anywhere else?
We weren't sure that we were going to be able to get this particular Jeep that we wanted, but they had went head over heels to get us the deal that we were looking for.
We had a 94 Town & Country that we traded in. Got a good deal trading on that.
I know they're interested in helping people. For one thing, they've been giving me advice on my financial situation since my bankruptcy.
800-800-8553.
Nightly at 10, it's the Northwest Sports Report. It's the nightly newscast you've been waiting for.
This is the real deal.
60 minutes every night dedicated to scores, highlights, and interviews from your hometown and beyond.
We told you it was going to be good.
Your teams, your town, your show. The Northwest Sports Report, nightly at 10 on Fox Sports Net. Mariners Weekly. Host Rich Waltz brings you interviews, insights, and highlights on the Seattle Mariners all season long. Mariners Weekly, today on Fox Sports Net.
And welcome back to Safeco Field as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Mariners lead the Indians by a score of 3-1. Designated hitter Edgar Martinez leads it off, and he takes a pitch outside for ball 1. Hi again, everybody. Rick Riz along with Tex David Henderson. Tonight is country music night here at Safeco Field. Henry, you're getting into it with the cowboy hat. I couldn't get mine on with the headphones on.
Well, we got into it with D.Wilson. He did the giddy up around the bases, hitting that 3-run double right there, driving in the Mariners' run. So D.Wilson's into the country music and the country thing.
Yeah. Corralled 3 runs there with that double deep to right center field. A strike at the knees on Edgar as the count goes to 2-1. Then Travis Hafner with a leadoff home run at the top of the 5th inning. Edgar is 0 for 2. 2-2 the count. He's just 10 hits away from 2,000 in his major league career. Already the all-time hit leader in a Mariner uniform. Out of play on the first base side, and it's still 2-2. This guy still may be a ways away from a healthy hamstring, Hendu, but he can still swing the bat. Edgar came into the ball game with a batting average well over 300 at 370. Up and in, ball 3, full count.
Well, I think the day off yesterday, the scheduled day off, and the day off playing Sunday really helped Edgar because it gives him time to get that leg healthier and healthier.
Fly ball, shallow left field. Going out, Omar Vizquel. Coming in, the left fielder, Matt Lawton, is there and takes over and makes the catch. 1 out for the Mariners here in the 5th, and that'll bring up first baseman John Olery. Mariners getting out of the first round against the West in pretty good shape at 11-8, Hendu, and in first place in American League West.
Well, everybody knew there was a lot of importance on that first 19 games, but now that section is bye-bye, and you don't want to come into this homestand playing Cleveland and Detroit and go, "Ooh, we're done." For those guys, because you still have to play baseball, solid baseball.
John with a single and a double and a run scored. A check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, and the count is 0-2. Yes, this is a rebuilding ball club, but they're still dangerous. I mean, this club 7-12 on the year. They're coming off back-to-back wins against the White Sox, and this guy is pretty good pitcher. Sabathia with 30 wins over the last 2 years, 17 his rookie year and 13 last year.
Well, that's what you have to remember, that Cleveland doesn't have the weapons of Oakland or Anaheim, but they are a good team. They do have some stars on this team that can get it done.
Good fastball, and like that, John looking right there. So 2 outs for the Mariners here in the 5th, and that is strikeout number 4 for C.C. Sabathia. Pretty good starting pitching right there. Look at that. The Indians, from their starters, a 3.5 ERA.
And you see the pitching coach, Carl Willis, on the left, and he's proud of that 3.58 ERA. And you got to give Jake Westbrook and Ricardo Rodriguez a lot of that credit, because those are young guys you never heard of, but they're coming on the scene, and they have great stuff, what I hear.
Center fielder Mike Cameron takes a pitch up and away for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Pretty good deal with the Dodgers. Paul Shuey going over to the Dodgers to pick up Rodriguez. We'll see Rodriguez tomorrow night in Game 2 of the series. He's 2-0 to start the year for Cleveland. Hard hit ball right through the hole. It's short into left field. So a 2-out single for Mike Cameron here in the 5th. Coming up tomorrow night, Game 2 of the 3-game series. It'll be Gil Mesh against Ricardo Rodriguez.
And look at that sparkling 2.08 ERA, and you start talking to people, and you start talking about the stuff. They might not have the offensive explosion team they once had, but they have some young starters ready to blossom.
Gil Mesh 1-1. Rodriguez at 2-0. Pitching matchups brought to you by Comcast, the Northwest leading provider of cable TV and high-speed internet services. Carlos Guillen with a strike, 0-1. Put down a sacrifice bunt in the 4th inning. Wasn't pretty, but it got the job done, and it helped lead to 3 runs in the 4th. Back up the middle into center field, a base hit for Guillen, and that'll send Cameron down to second. So back-to-back singles with 2 outs. And here come the Mariners one more time after C.C. Sabathia.
And one thing this does, the people are talking about the Mariners a lot of speed, but speed doesn't always steal bases. It strikes fear into the pitcher. When each was on first, Cameron on base this time, C.C. Sabathia, what does he do? He goes into a slide step. He quickens up the delivery. It takes miles off his fastball. The breaking ball wasn't as sharp, so it helps it other ways, speed. Carlos Guillen gets a breaking ball not as sharp, hits it back up the middle.
And Carlos didn't do too much with it, just took it, like you said, right back into center field.
You have that pitcher defensing the stolen base so much he forgets about the guy at the plate. Oh, there's an old veteran. Everybody knows. Terry Mulholland,
former
left-hander in the bullpen.
Terry's pitched for
everybody.
15 different ball clubs. A lot of pitchers are blessed with a certain number of pitches in their arm. Well, this guy was, I think he was given a few more than most guys. Still around after all these years. Terry Mulholland, also one of the good guys in the game of baseball.
True professional. Will do what you asked and more. He's taken the ball long relief. He's been a starter, been a closer.
Oh, he's done it all.
Up and down the rotation, he's done it all.
Began his professional career back in 1984 up in Everett. Jeff Cirillo. Ball 1 the count. 2 on, 2 away. Bottom of the 5th. Mariners lead the Indians by a score of 3-1. Jeff 1 for 1, an infield single in the 2nd. Hit by a pitch, scored one of the 3 Mariner runs in the 4th.
Well, Sabathia up with 98 pitches, and they're starting to watch him a little bit now.
Popped up. Behind home plate, off of the mask is the catcher. Josh Barty's got some room, and he makes the catch for out number 3. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 are left on. And after 5 innings of play, here at Safeco Field, the Mariners lead the Indians 3-1.
Introducing 54321, the show that brings you inside the world of extreme sports.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Shopping for a new home? Did you know that in the time it takes you to drive to just one house, you could visit 100 without leaving your home? Coldwell Banker Barbara Sue Properties introduces a better way to shop. Find your new home on TV or online, anytime. Hundreds and hundreds of dream homes are now just a click away. On Channel 15 or at cbfield.com. Coldwell Banker Barbara Sue Properties. Discover the joy of home shopping from home.
Hi, Ron Tonkin for Ron Tonkin Toyota. If you have a transportation problem, we have a 0% solution. We've got 0% financing for 36 months on America's most popular car, the Toyota Camry. And this deal is so good, we're offering it on Corolla, too. With $4 million of inventory in stock, you can take immediate delivery. So come into Ron Tonkin Toyota out 122nd Way, where you always get selection, friendly service, and low financing that can't be beat. All for the love of cars.
Seattle Mariners baseball is brought to you by AM/PM. Too much good stuff. Buy the McDonald's dollar menu with classic taste like the double cheeseburger for just $1. Got a buck? You're in luck. And by Aflac. Ask about it at work. We go to the top half of the 6th inning. Mariners lead the Indians by a score of 3-1. Freddie Garcia to take a look at Lawton, Bard, and Blake. All on the count on Matt Lawton, who is 2 for 2 with a couple of singles.
Getting that average up to $161. We have to talk about the weather a little bit when we talk about Matt Lawton. It was a little cold when they started the season. They played in 20 degrees, 30 degrees, no storms. And,
Baltimore?
It's tough to hit a baseball when its wind chill is 30 below.
Now outside for ball 3, 3-0. How about those?
Yeah, I told him I'd take care of him about his average.
Okay.
Tell everybody about the weather.
He did a nice
This is the
job.
first time they've been to the West Coast in warm weather.
Yeah, Milton Bradley's hitting 364. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike on Lawton, 3-1.
Well, somebody has cold hands.
No, the horrible weather on the East Coast early in the year. Popped up, shallow right center. Ichiro gets there in plenty of time to make the catch. So 1 out for the Indians here in the 6th. Wasn't that something a few weeks ago, that blizzard they had at Camden Yards in Baltimore in the game against Cleveland?
And talking to Ellis Burks, he hit a ball down the right field line foul. It hit over there by the ball girls, hit the wall here, kicked into right field. The umpire called it fair because he couldn't see through the snow. And Ellis ran down the first and says, okay, I'll take a base hit. He saw it hit the stands and go fair, but it's so cold, and it wasn't a little bit of snowstorm. It was a regular snowstorm, blizzard.
1 out for the Indians, and here is catcher Josh Bard. Bard 0 for 2 has flied out twice to Randy Wynn in left field. He had quite a debut last year when he came up from AAA Buffalo in a game against Seattle. He hit the game-winning home run. Good changeup from Freddie Garcia as the count is even on Bard at 1-1. So what a thrill. First game of the big leagues, and you win that game with your first big league home run. Ground ball, John Olerud, that gold glove over there, scoops it up, little toss to Freddie at the bag. 2 outs for the Indians here in the 6th. Well, if you're looking for the best deal on Mariners Mojo this season, look no further than the MasterCard Grand Slam Family Pack. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 Pepsi soft drinks for just $50. That's nearly 40% off the regular price. The next Family Pack game is tomorrow against the Indians at 7:05. Just stop by any Mariners team store for tickets. Personally, I'm waiting for lasagna night here at the ballpark. It could happen. Casey Blake takes a strike. 0-1. Blake is 0 for 2. Jeff Cirillo made a fine play, and a ball hit down the third base line right behind the bag back in the 2nd. He may be struggling offensively, but one thing about Jeff Cirillo, he doesn't take it out to the field. He's played some great defense. Fouled away by Blake, and the count goes to 1-2.
And I think that's one of the ingredients we talk about when we start separating teams. A team that wins 60 games or a team that wins 90 games. You got to have great defense. You got to have more weapons to win a ball game. More bullets in the gun, as you will.
No question about Cirillo's defense. Ground ball to the right side. Brett Boone is there. And it's a 1-2-3. Top of the 6th inning for the Indians. After 5.5 innings of play, the Mariners lead the Indians 3-1 behind the pitching of Freddie Garcia.
I began losing my hair about a year ago. Is it ever going to stop?
What causes it to fall out anyway? Let's say I'm ready to do something about my hair loss. What are my options? Why me?
It's hard to know what to do when you start losing your hair. That's where Bosley Medical comes in. For over 25 years, people have turned to us for answers to their questions about hair loss and hair restoration.
So what is natural hair restoration? Where does the hair come from? Is it permanent?
Does the hair actually grow?
To find out, just call this toll-free number. We'll send you this free video and comprehensive guidebook that give you the real facts about hair loss and the choices you have for dealing with it. Financing is available, so call now and discover how Bosley Medical has advanced the science of natural hair restoration, how they use your own living hair to fill in the thin spots. You'll also meet people who were once losing their hair and see what they looked like then and now.
But here's the big question. Do you think my barber will remember me?
Learn about all your options. Call now and get the information you need to determine if hair restoration is right for you.
Hey everybody, Bill Wixie here. Mariners baseball coming your way tonight here on Fox Sports Net. We'll get it started with Mariners warm-up. Rich Waltz gets you primed for Game 2 against the Tribe live from Safeco Field. It's all tonight at 6:30.
Sports' biggest names come together for the greatest night in sports television as the Best Damn Sports Show Period presents the 24th Annual Sports Emmy Awards. And the winner is Be There as the greatest athletes in the world gather in New York City to relive the sports year's most historic moments. The Angels, world champions. Join host Joe Buck for sports television's most spectacular night, the 24th Annual Sports Emmy Awards, Sunday at 6 on Fox Sports Net.
half of the 6th inning. The Mariners lead the Indians by a score of 3-1 here on Country Music Night here at Safeco Field. We got a couple of Cowboys or Cowboy wannabes.
Yeah. They say the guy with
my partner here.
They say the guy with the white hat is always the good guy. I've got the black hat on. I'm the bad guy.
And who's got his hat on? Well, I couldn't get my hat.
Yeah,
Where's
when
my
you
hat?
got the black hat on, you're the
What'd I
bad
do with
guy.
my hat?
The white hat always wins the war. So Rick Riz can't get his hat on. There you go, Cowboy.
Howdy, folks.
Have a little fun on Cowboy
Hey,
Day.
you got to have a good time. Belongs to one of the fellas. Here, Robbie Nielsen, you look good on it.
Yeah. Okay. 40-year-old Terry
Mulholland. Dan Wilson leading off the inning. Ball 1. Here are the numbers for Terry Mulholland. He's been around a long, long time, Hendu.
15 years. He's been in 3 games. 386. 7 innings. So he's their long man. Going to give you a lot of innings. No strikes.
Dan Wilson pops it up near the bag at second. Allmeyer calling for it, and he makes the catch. 1 away for the Mariners here in the 6th. So Terry Mulholland taking over in relief. Started his career back in 1984 up in Everett with the San Francisco Giants organization. Pitched for the Giants 1986, 88, 89. Pitched for the Philadelphia Phillies for a long time. The Yankees back for the Giants, back for the Phillies. Pitched for the Mariners in 1996. Was 5-4 that year in a Mariner uniform. Pitched for the Cubbies, the Giants again, the Cubs again, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Los Angeles, and Cleveland.
And Rick, you remember that Steve Carlton workout with the rice in the barrel, and you stick your arm in there?
Strengthen your hand?
Yeah, it was one of those Taekwondo workouts. Terry Mulholland did that, and you can see why he's very muscular through that left arm. He's been healthy for all these years.
Ichiro showing bunt, and he foul tip it off the umpire, or did he miss it?
No, he pulled the bat back, Rick, and the catcher,
Bard.
Now Bard kind of just didn't catch it. Got no leather.
Jeff Kellogg, the home plate umpire, got that one off the glove of Bard, the catcher. Breaking ball is fouled away, and the count is even on Ichiro at 2-2. Terry Mulholland helped the Phillies get to the World Series back in 1993, 10 years ago. Lost to the Blue Jays. Outside, ball 3, 3-2. And I believe it was Mulholland who started that game. But the Blue Jays won 15-40. Fouled away by Ichiro, and the count is still 3-2. It was game 3 of that series. Not quite sure. Blue Jays won that series in 6 games on a home run by Joe Carter. Up the first base line, but it's going to be a foul ball off the foot of Ichiro. The ball was in fair territory out to the first baseman Hafner, so the count is still 3-2.
Kind of a tough one to see. Ichiro started bouncing around, going on 1 foot, but we've seen a lot of actors in Hollywood do that. Couldn't really tell if the ball hit his foot or not.
Breaking ball is blown outside for ball 4, so Ichiro with a walk, and Ichiro's been on board 4 times tonight with 2 hits. Been saved on an air and has walked here in the 6th inning. 1 on, 1 away. Terry Mulholland taking over from the starter, C.C. Sabathia. Karsten Charles Sabathia. Went 5 innings. He gave up 3 runs, all earned on 8 hits with no walks, but he hit 2 batters and struck out 4. Randy Wynn. Ball 1.
And Rick, we see another pitcher as C.C. Sabathia. Terry Mulholland very quick to the plate. They're practicing that slide step to nullify the Mariner base running. You see Terry Mulholland, he'll barely take his cleats out of the dirt and slide step, get the ball to the plate very quickly.
Down and in, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes.
And that makes it almost impossible to steal a base no matter how fast you are, because there's a time, usually 1.3 or 4 seconds. Terry Mulholland breaking that down to 1.1 seconds to get the ball to the home plate.
Just can't run on him. Snap throw to first base to get Ichiro back.
lot of pitchers are going to that slide step, but sometimes it takes 3 or 4 miles off your fastball, so it's great for the hitter at the plate. So the threat of the stolen base has a lot of significance to the batter.
Chance to catch up to a fastball.
Not as much break on a breaking ball because you're quicking up your delivery.
Two and one on Randy Wynn. On deck is Brett Boone. Here's a look at Booney. Brett had a great series down in Anaheim, winning 2 out of 3 games. Another move to first base, and Ichiro gets back. Ichiro has 4 stolen bases. Number 4 came back in the first inning. A lot of room on the right side of the infield for Randy Wynn as Ichiro gets his lead. Up and in as Wynn has to spin away from ball 3, 3-1.
Well, it's very clear on how the left-handed pitchers are going to pitch most of the Mariner hitters, I guess, inside. Through Sabathia, through the first part of the lineup, he threw everything inside, even the breaking ball inside. Now Mulholland going through the same scouting report, pitching most of the hitters inside.
Well, one reason, too, all that space to the right side of the infield between the second baseman Phillips and the first baseman Hafner having to play at the bag. Ichiro going, swinging a pop-up into shallow left field. Omar Vizquel going out. And he's there to make the catch. 2 outs, and back to first goes Ichiro. Well, just how do the Mariner hitters use videotape to improve their swings? We'll find out tonight after the game on the Northwest Sports Report as Bill Wixie takes you behind the scenes here at Safeco Field. Plus, find out how many you can win. 4 tickets to Sunday's game against the Tigers right after the game on the Emmy Award-winning Northwest Sports Report, brought to you by your Northwest Chevy dealers. You might have a chance to win 4 tickets to a ball game against the Detroit Tigers. Here's Brett Boone. Going inside, ball 1. Brett is 0 for 3 tonight with a couple of strikeouts. Up and in, ball 2. They stay inside on the right-handed hitters.
Seems like that's the pattern that Sabathia started and created early in the ball game, trying to tie up the right-handed hitters.
Line drive right at Hafner at first base. He makes the catch for the out, and that is out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left on. We go to the top half of the 7th. Mariners lead the Indians 3-1.
Nightly at 10, it's the Northwest Sports Report. It's the nightly newscast you've been waiting for.
This is the real deal.
60 minutes every night dedicated to scores, highlights, and interviews from your hometown and beyond.
We told you it was going to be good.
Your teams, your town, your show. The Northwest Sports Report, nightly at 10 on Fox Sports Net. You're watching Fox Sports Net.
After 82 games, it all comes down to this. The NBA playoffs. There's nothing like the playoffs. And there's nothing like being there. The Blazers take on the Dallas Mavericks in round 1 of the Western Conference playoffs, Friday, April 25th and Sunday, April 27th. Call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or visit Blazers.com.
You think about what makes a top performer. Some say it's offense. Others declare defense. You think about that, and you build a car that can deliver both. The Volvo S60. Performance when you want it. A Volvo when you need it.
Time constraints. We now move ahead in the program.
Mariners Mariners leading the Indians 3-1 here in the top half of the 7th inning. 1 out and 2 on for the Indians. Time now for the difference of the game, brought to you by Columbia Bank. It's time for a better bank. Columbia Bank, you'll notice the difference. And Freddie Garcia, big story in this ball game, Hendu.
Yeah, you see down there only 1 strikeout. That's because he wanted to put the ball in play. 116 pitches. Still trying to get that pitch cut down. He wants to have 116 pitches in the 8th inning, not 6 in the 3rd inning. But Freddie, a good job walking out of there with 1 run with a lead coming off the mound. But Freddie only a couple of walks. Freddie is being the guy.
Here is Shigetoshi Hasegawa on in relief with 2 aboard for the Indians. Look at that, 0.00 ERA.
Been the unsung hero there. 8 strikeouts, 13 in the 3rd. Been getting the Mariners out of big jams.
Shiggy, a lot of ground ball outs behind him. That's what the Mariners are looking for right here. Omar Vizquel. A strike, 0-1. We're all 1 for 3. Man, I remember this kid when he was just a baby coming up in the Mariners organization. Still the best defensive shortstop I've ever seen. On at second, Phillips. Bradley at first. Low, ball 1, 1-1.
14 years in the major leagues, Omar Vizquel, but looking very young and fit and still playing the game with a bounce in his step.
Yeah. He's only 58 hits away from 2,000 in his career. Ground ball up the line behind the bag. What a stop by Olerud. Over to Hasegawa for the out on Omar Vizquel, and John Olerud makes it look easy. Oh my goodness, what a play by Olerud. 2 outs on the play. Phillips goes to 3rd and Bradley down to 2nd base.
Well, Rick, we were talking about those differences on a winning club and a losing club that's going to win 60 or 70 ball games. This is it. When you're on a subpar team, this ball goes through, and you're 2nd and 3rd with a run scored. John Olerud makes up for the difference there. That big glove at first base. They have all of those golden gloves out there that the Mariners have, and that just makes a big difference to the pitching staff.
John Olerud always very under control. That hop to add a little giddy up to it. Here is Kareem Garcia. The Indians now have the tying runs aboard with 2 outs in scoring position. Phillips and Bradley still belong to Freddie Garcia. Mariners lead 3-1. Ball 1. Garcia got one off the end of the bat and singled to center field his last time up.
You look at those numbers, Rick. The first 6 innings, 284 average. That's when the pitching staff is kind of filling you out a little bit. But the 7th inning on, you're facing the setup men and the closers. A 183 average for the Indians. It just lets you know that they're not equipped to hit superior stuff.
Dan Wilson to the mound to have a talk with Shigetoshi Hasegawa. Garcia spent most of last year at AAA Buffalo, where he hit .396, but then with the Indians last year, late in the year, tore up the league the last couple of months with 16 home runs and 52 runs batted in.
Yeah, but in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, they bring in pitchers specifically to get you out. They throw the pitches that you can't hit. That's why that average goes way down.
Outside on Garcia for ball 2, 2-0. Hasegawa on Sunday got the big final out in the bottom of the 8th inning after the Angels scored 3 times to tie the game at 5-5 and left the bases loaded. Mariners came back to win with 2 in the 9th. That's way outside on Garcia. Ball 3, 3-0 the count.
And you can see Hasegawa and Dan Wilson pitching Garcia very carefully, the left-handed pitcher, batter, and looking at Ellis Burks with the bases loaded, probably giving him a free pass down to first base. Garcia to pitch to Ellis Burks so you can have a force at every base.
And there's a strike on the outside corner, 3-1.
Borderline pitch. If you're going to throw him a strike, you throw it off the plate, running off the outside corner. If the hitter wants to hit a ball off the end of the bat and get himself out, let him do it.
We'll go back outside again. Phillips at 3rd, Bradley on at 2nd, 2 outs. That's up and away for ball 4. So Garcia with a walk, and now the Indians have the bases loaded with 2 outs for Ellis Burks. One of the few veterans still left on this ball club, along with Omar Vizquel. Burks, look at this, with the bases loaded, hitting .333 with 10 career Grand Slam home runs. Phillips at third, Bradley on at second, Garcia now on at first base with 2 outs. Ellis Burks 0 for 3. Line drive, Brett Boone at second base makes the catch, and the side is retired. The Indians leave the bases loaded here in the top half of the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, and 3 are left stranded. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Mariners lead the Indians 3-1.
10 pounds, 11 ounces. Your classic champion is Jerry Ellis.
The Classic was the biggest win of my career, and a huge part of my success was Berkeley Power Bait Frenzy Lures. They're world-class lures, and they're a surefire combination every time.
For more than 15 years, Jay Ellis and Berkeley have been working together to develop the highest performance baits. And it all paid off for Jay when he not only won the Classic, but brought in the biggest bass every day. A first in Classic history. Now you can receive Jay's complete Classic winning tackle together in Jay's Secrets of the Classic Fishing Kit. With Jay's Secrets of the Classic, you get Jay's Frenzy Popper and Frenzy Medium Diver, 10 of Jay's 2-inch and 8 3-inch Power Bait Frogs, the Classic winning Power Rattle Jig and Power Bait Skirt, personally designed by Jay.
That smells like money.
And the super abrasion resistant Trilene XT, Jay's favorite all-around line for bass fishing.
Woo! All right.
Order Jay Ellis's Secrets of the Classic Fishing Kit for just $29.95. This price is available only through this exclusive television offer, so call and order now. But wait, there's more. Be one of the first to order and will include a 1-year BASS membership, including a 1-year subscription to Bassmaster Magazine, 10 of the #1 proven 7-inch power worms, and 4 different power skirts, a $28 value. But that's not all. Be one of the first to order and will include this automatic Berkeley line stripper, a $12.99 value, yours free. All this, a $75 value, yours for just $29.95 when you order now.
The very latest science behind scent, shape, colors, and patterns, only from Berkeley. They work for me, and they'll work for you.
The Jay Ellis Secrets of the Classic Fishing Kit makes a great gift any time of year. The Jay Ellis Secrets of the Classic Fishing Kit.
Only with Berkeley.
Order yours now.
And the Mariners' 7th inning stretch is sponsored by Milk, the one drink you can feel good about. Healthy moms, healthy kids, brought to you with pride by the Dairy Farmers of Washington. Mariners lead the Indians 3-1. Bottom of inning number 7, and Edgar Martinez leads it off with ball 1 from Terry Mulholland. Edgar looking for his first base hit tonight. Curveball is low. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Mulholland, 40 years of age. Fastball in the outside corner.
Well, we got the 40-40 club going here. Mulholland and Edgar. See which 40-year-old wins this battle.
Inside for ball 3, 3-1 the count. Tells you a lot about what's in these two guys and how they've kept themselves and going this long. Fouled away by Edgar. Full count 3-2. Aaron Mayette coming over in the deal with the Texas Rangers. Warming up down in the Indian bullpen. Edgar battling the leg problems the last couple of years. Had the ruptured tendon removed from behind his knee last year. Was out for 2.5 months. Down in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, Josh Bard, for ball 4. So Edgar is on at first base. That's the second walk given up by Terry Mulholland in relief. One aboard brings up first baseman John Olerud.
Well, let's just say at 40 years old, they don't keep you around because you're a nice guy. You have to have some production, and that's what Mulholland and Edgar have done. They're still producing, and they deserve that roster spot.
Edgar came into the ball game tonight hitting .370. Fastball for a strike on Oliver at 0-1. And look at that, Mulholland getting that fastball up to 93. John 2 for 3 with a single and a double. He led off the fourth with a double and scored the first of 3 runs on the 3-run double by Dan Wilson. The Indians going to the World Series back in 1995 and 97, losing in 95 to Atlanta. Ground ball to the shortstop. Omar Vizquel over the Phillips for 1. The relay to first is in time for the double play. 6-4-3. They get Edgar at second and double up Oliver to first base. In 97, they lost the World Series in that 7th game to the Florida Marlins.
And I think that's where the controversy started with the book written by Omar Vizquel. And Jose Table, Mesa, the closer, gave up the base hit up the middle.
Here's center fielder Mike Cameron. Ball 1. David Wells out with his book this year. Down the right field side, slicing foul and out of play, and the count is even on Mike Cameron at 1 ball and 1 strike. The last time the Indians won a World Series, you have to go back to 1948. Inside as Cammy spins away from ball 2-2-1. He was hit by a pitch up on his left leg by C.C. Sabathia back in the 4th inning.
Another indication that they're trying to bore the ball in on the right-handed hitters of the Mariners.
Blown inside in the dirt, bounces away from the catcher Josh Bard, ball 3. 1948, the Indians won the World Series against the Boston Braves. Going back a few years as you take a look at Arthur Rhodes. Starting to warm up down in the bullpen. Full count 3-2. Braves started off in Boston, then it was on to Milwaukee, then to Atlanta back in 1966. Up the line foul, and it's still 3-2 on Mike Cameron.
Well, there's one good thing about pitching right-handed hitters inside if you're a left-hander. If you make the pitch, they got to pull it foul to get the big part of the bat on there. But if you miss out over the plate, it's a 4-bagger, a home run.
And it's inside for ball 4. So Mike Cameron with a 2-out walk here in the bottom of inning number 7. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Great shot from right behind the right field foul pole. Looking down on shortstop Carlos Guillen. You never know where you'll find our cameramen stationed around Safeco Field to give you some beautiful shots around the best ballpark in baseball. 1-0 the count on Carlos. Singled his last time up. Back to the mound, knocked down by Terry Mulholland. The throw to first is in time to get Carlos Guillen for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left on. We go to the top half of the 8th here at Safeco Field. Mariners leading the Indians 3-1.
I began losing my hair about a year ago. Is it ever going to stop? What causes it to fall out anyway?
Let's say I'm ready to do something about my hair loss. What are my options? Why me?
It's hard to know what to do when you start losing your hair. That's where Bosley Medical comes in. For over 25 years, people have turned to us for answers to their questions about hair loss and hair restoration.
So what is natural hair restoration? Where does the hair come from? Is it permanent?
Does the hair actually grow?
To find out, just call this toll-free number. We'll send you this free video and comprehensive guidebook that give you the real facts about hair loss and the choices you have for dealing with it. Financing is available, so call now and discover how Bosley Medical has advanced the science of natural hair restoration, how they use your own living hair to fill in the thin spots. You'll also meet people who were once losing their hair and see what they looked like then and now.
But here's the big big question. Do you think my barber will remember me?
Learn about all your options. Call now and get the information you need to determine if hair restoration is right for you.
Here comes Ichiro.
And Rick, they got the Ichiro shift on with all the infielders between first and second base. Now they're bringing the outfielders into play between second and third. And look at this. Here comes the whole bullpen to play the outfield.
No problem. Teams will try anything to stop this guy.
Ichiro lines one into the corner, and no one's going to get to it. My, oh, my!
You got to hit them where they end.
Mariners baseball. Viva la Mojo.
Hey everybody, Bill Wixie here. Mariners baseball coming your way tonight here on Fox Sports Net. We'll get it started with Mariners warm-up. Rich Waltz gets you primed for Game 2 against the Tribe, live from Safeco Field. It's all tonight at 6:30.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The entire world of extreme sports all in one place. Weeknight on Fox Sports Net.
Seattle Mariners baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. More than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country. By Pepsi. The joy of Pepsi all season long. By Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking. By Geico, the sensible alternative. By Pennzoil, we're driving protection. And by your Northwest Chevy dealers, who invite you to test drive the new Chevy cars and trucks. 25,000 plus tonight here at Safeco Field. Mariners leading the Indians 3-1, top of the 8th. 1 on and 2 outs, and the new pitcher is veteran left-hander Arthur Rhodes.
I think you got to bring Arthur Rhodes in with after hitting a home run last time up. But you look at these numbers, Arthur Rhodes, 10 games, 2.45 ERA, 11 innings, and you just see the strikeouts based on balls of $194. So you have to force the other manager's hand, and Bob Melvin does that with a pinch hitter in Shane Spencer. For Eric Wedge, you have to send a right-hander up there. Bob Melvin knows this is going to happen before he makes this move. You look at these numbers, 0 for 3 through 2 Ks. Spencer, a Yankee last year, had some power, but Melvin likes this matchup better than the one Hasagawa gets after.
So Rhodes on in relief to face the pinch hitter, Shane Spencer. Here's a look at Josh Bard on at second base with 2 outs. We're in the top of the 8th, and a pop-up. Foul first base side, and this one is going to find the seats. Now the other side of the Mariner dugout, and the count is 0-1 on Spencer.
I think you always choose a pinch hitter, a guy cold coming off the bench. If you're the opposing manager, you want him to try to get the base hit, or a guy that's already got 3 at-bats and feeling good about himself, already hit a home run. You want him to go back to the bench.
Spencer is 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter this year. New manager Eric Wedge going with Spencer. Back up the middle into center field. Bard rounding third, heading home. M.Cameron's throw to the plate is going to be cut off by John Olerud, so Bard scores on the 2-out pinch hit single by Shane Spencer, and it makes it a 1-run game. It's now the Mariners 3 and the Indians 2.
Well, Spencer coming up with a big base hit. Arthur Rhodes catching a big part of the plate in the middle. Coming up there like an old veteran, been in the league a while, getting his 3 swings. Swung at the first pitch, fastball up and in, drives it right back up the middle. You look at Cameron right here, wants to keep the ball way down because, remember, the tying run is Spencer. You cannot let him creep into second base. Cameron does a great job because a ground ball up the middle of the center field, you very seldom have a chance to throw somebody out, and you don't want that batter runner to end up on second.
Here's Brandon Phillips, a swing and a miss on 1. Let's go back to the game Hendu 2 days ago in Anaheim, where 2 errant throws by the outfielders helped the Mariners move into scoring position, and they took advantage on bad throws from the outfield to go ahead and score 2 runs in the 9th inning off of Troy Percival and eventually win that game 7-6.
And that's part of playing good defense, knowing when you have a shot and knowing when you shouldn't throw the ball up in the air to the plate.
1-1 on Brandon Phillips, who has a hit tonight, 1 for 3, as you take a look at Spencer on at first base, who now represents the tying run. And run charged to Shigetoshi Hasagawa, the first run that Hasagawa has has allowed this year. First earned run. Fouled away by Phillips, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Mariners have played a lot of close ball games. 5 of the last 8 have been decided by 1 run. The Mariners have won 4-5.
And nothing unusual. The Mariners don't score a lot of runs. They don't blow out a lot of teams, so that they have the superior bullpen and they like to use it.
In the dirt, Dan, the pitch gets away from catcher Dan Wilson, and down to second goes Shane Spencer on a wild pitch. So now the Indians have the tying run in scoring position. Count is even on Phillips at 2-2. Fastball got him looking. A P at the knee right there. A fastball right at the knees on Brandon Phillips. What a pitch by Arthur Rhodes. The Indians get 1 run on 2 hits, and they leave the tying run stranded at second base. We go to the bottom half of the 8th hour score. The Mariners 3 and the Indians 2.
Sports' biggest names come together for the greatest night in sports television as the Best Damn Sports Show period presents the 24th Annual Sports Emmy Awards. And the winner is... Be there as the greatest athletes in the world gather in New York City to relive the sports year's most historic moments. The Angels, world champions. Join host Joe Buck for sports television's most spectacular night, the 24th Annual Sports Emmy Awards, Sunday at 6 on Fox Sports Net. You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Comcast.
Pay-per-view.
They thought he had it all.
He's everything I've ever wanted in a man.
He thought the backlash was over.
This is true love.
What happens when one lie
He's the most honest man I've ever met.
breaks the hearts of millions of women across America?
He gets butt kicked.
Catch Backlash from the WWE live April 27th. Call Comcast today to order it on In Demand.
At Community Chevrolet, we've become the fastest growing Chevy dealer in the entire Northwest. How? Simply by offering the absolute lowest prices. Which is why right now we're guaranteeing to sell at least 25 Suburbans and Tahoes at an amazing $9,000 below MSRP. And we have an incredible selection. $9,000 off MSRP on Suburbans and Tahoes. Only at Community Chevrolet.
They are the same. Community Chevy, St. John.
Lead Cleveland 3-2 as we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Say, friends, today's another Super Tuesday here at Safeco Field, and all fans in attendance are eligible for great prices from Starbucks, Shucks Auto Supply, Alberto, and more. Don't worry if you missed tonight's Super Tuesday. There's still 9 more yet to come. For tickets, visit any Mariners team store or Ticketmaster outlet. Bottom of the 8th inning, a 1-run game, 3-2, and Jeff Cirillo leads it off, shows bunt, takes the pitch for ball 1. Defensive changes for the Indians. Casey Blake, who was at third base, is now playing first base for Travis Hafner, and John McDonald takes over at third base. Popped up and out of play. 1-1 on Jeff. Infield single for Cirillo back in the second, hit by a pitch, scored 1 of 3 Mariner runs back in the fourth, who's also popped up to the catcher Josh Bart. Curve in the dirt from Terry Mulholland.
And Rick, I think it's a great feeling where if you're Jeff Cirillo, you figured out your first 2 or 3 at-bats that the Indians are going to pitch him inside. They're throwing fastballs in, breaking balls in, and it makes it a little easier to hit if you know everything's going to be in one spot.
Look in there, and he does. Lines one foul down the left field line, right off the glove of the Mariner ball. Drill down the left field line, almost made a nice catch.
Well, when 85% of the pitches are inside, one side of the plate, makes it a little easier to hit.
Full count, 3-2. On deck is Dan Wilson. Dan with the big hit in this game, a bases clearing 3-run double in the fourth. Fly ball, well hit. Left center field. Matt Lawton going back to the warning track. He's there and makes the catch. One out for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 8th. When we go to the top of the 9th inning, the Indians will send up the top third of the order. Milton Bradley, Omar Vizquel, and Kareem Garcia. Against this guy right here, I.Suzuki getting ready. He got the save a couple of days ago in Anaheim as the Mariners hung on to win that ball game by a score of 7-6. And he struck out Brad Fulmer on a 3-2 splitter for the final out of the game. Dan Wilson, the hit in this game, a 3-run double in the 4th. Another breaking ball for strike 0-2. Jerry Mulholland has done his job tonight in relief of C.C. Sabathia. Sabathia went 5 innings. To Hopper to the third baseman, John McDonald. His toss across is in time to get Dan Wilson. So 2 outs for the Mariners here in the 8th. Well, we hope to see you out at Bellevue Square on Saturday morning, April the 26th, from 10 until 1:30 for the annual Mariners autograph signing to benefit Esperanza. From 10 until 11, Freddie Garcia will be at Bellevue Square along with Ryan Franklin, Carlos Guillen, and Joel Pinheiro. Then from noon until 1:30, Dan Wilson will be there along with John Olerud, Mark McLemore, and Willie Bloomquist. All proceeds going to Esperanza. That's Saturday morning, April the 26th, out of Bellevue Square. A lot of the Mariners will be there starting at 10 o'clock in the morning. Ichiro inside for ball 1, 1-1 the count. Fouled away, 1-2. And on top of that, 10% of all sales at the Bellevue Square Mariners team store will also be donated to Esperanza. So we'll see you at Bellevue Square Mall, 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, April the 26th. Fouled away, and it's still 1-2. Incredible balance at the plate, Andrew, with Ichiro.
I think when he gets 2 strikes, he can fight off that inside pitch and stay back on the soft stuff.
Foul ball to the shortstop, Omar Vizquel, the throw to first, and it's in time to get Ichiro for out number 3. And we move to the top half of the 9th, the last try for the Indians. It's hang on time. Our score, the Mariners 3 and the Indians 2.
I believe fair money mark will work hard. They try to finance your future, not your past.
With only $300 in my wallet, I didn't have $1,000 down or anything, and an hour and a half later, I drove away in a red Mustang.
They sell a lot of cars and, you know, help a lot of people.
Poor guy that sold me the car had to drive all the way to Paulsville to get some paperwork at 1 o'clock in the morning, so they definitely went the extra mile.
800-800-8553.
April 26th, catch a full day of Husky sports for free at the Spring Fling. It begins at 9 as the Husky crew clashes with Cal. Then at 10, the volleyballers take the court for a spring scrimmage. At 10:30, it's the Husky football experience for kids, followed by the Dogs in action in the spring game. At 1, it's baseball as Washington hosts the Bears. And at 2, the nationally ranked softball team takes on Cal. It wraps up at 3 with the alumni swim meet. Attend all the events and you'll be entered for some great prizes, including a trip for 2 on the Husky cruise, all at the Husky Spring Fling.
Mariners Weekly. Host Rich Waltz brings you interviews, insights, and highlights on the Seattle Mariners all season long. Mariners Weekly, today on Fox Sports Net. Nightly at 10, it's the Northwest Sports Report. It's the nightly newscast you've been waiting for.
This is the real deal.
60 minutes every night dedicated to scores, highlights, and interviews from your hometown and beyond.
We told you it was going to be good.
Your teams, your town, your show. The Northwest Sports Report, nightly at 10 on Fox Sports Net.
We We go to the top of the 9th inning here at Safeco Field. The Mariners lead the Indians 3-2. Time now for the Pennzoil protection play, brought to you by Pennzoil. 2 nice plays defensively turned in by these 2 guys right here, Hendu, Jeff Cirillo and John Olerud.
Well, this what makes Mariners a better team. You look at this play, not an easy play. Jeff Cirillo in foul territory. 1 step and a strong throw to first base to John Olerud. And speaking of John Olerud, ball picks up speed, overbite on that ball, where he retreats a bit, makes it look easy, but that's a tough play, and that's what the Mariners do better than any team in baseball.
A lot of times you'll see that ball shoot on by the first baseman with that topspin, but John's so quick. So 2 nice plays defensively. Top of the 9th inning, the Mariners lead by a run, and here's right-hander Kazuhiro Sasaki on in relief.
Out there to protect this 1-run lead. Look, he's been in 9 games, and you look at the saves, and 4 saves, 7 opportunities. Kaz been a little rocky, but last time out, big save for the Mariners. Everybody's on his bandwagon again. Everybody loves you when you save a game.
There's a splitter fouled away by Milton Bradley on the first pitch to him, 0-1. He had a pretty good bump in the road his last 3 outings, but he hung in there that last time out on Sunday and struck out Brad Fulmer with a nasty splitter on a 3-2 pitch for the final out of the game. This is with that one, and the count is 1-1.
I think people have to realize that saving games is not automatic. These guys actually go out there and work at it, and you can't become a broadcaster if you never take them deep or they never blow saves.
Line drive left field. That's going to drop in. A base hit in front of Randy Wynn. Milton Bradley, the leadoff hitter, is aboard here in the 9th inning.
Well, I think much of the concern with Sasaki is that his split finger is up in the zone. It's staying up for a strike. And a good forkball usually ends up in the dirt. You look at Dan Wilson's glove, it was down here, but the ball was up here. And that's where a forkball is just turns into a mediocre fastball. And those are easy to hit. And that's where you see Bradley get on top of that ball.
That's where he's been his last few outings, up with that pitch. Bunt attempt. And it's caught with a dive by the catcher, Dan Wilson. Holy smokes, what a play. Vizquel trying to bunt, and that ball was up and down in a hurry. Dan Wilson negotiated around Vizquel, diving for that ball. What a play by Dan. 1 out for the Indians here in the top of the 9th.
We talked about gold glove and hustle plays. Look at Dan Wilson. He's running on the way, dives for this ball, knows that Omar Vizquel is a great bunter. He makes a mistake. The ball gets up in the air. Dan Wilson says, I got 1 opportunity. I got to catch this ball. Goes for it and makes a great play.
A 2-handed diving catch by Dan Wilson. What a play defensively. 1 on, 1 away. And here is right fielder Kareem Garcia. Low and inside, ball 1.
And that's a good sign right there. Sasaki bounces the split finger. That means he's getting on top of it a little bit more. He doesn't want that thing to end up. Yeah, he doesn't want to end up about waist high. Those are bad pitches for him. He wants them to start about the knees and end up out of the strike zone.
He's back with a good fastball away. A swing and a miss by Garcia. 1 ball and 1 strike. Freddie Garcia is still the pitcher of record. Sasaki trying to pick up his 5th save of the year. Needs 2 more outs here in the 9th. Another fastball misses away. Ball 2, 2-1 on Garcia. Remember, Sasaki didn't work that many innings at spring training. Had the bad shoulder, the sore shoulder, after he had the operation on his elbow during the offseason. And he really didn't pitch that many innings. Fouled away by Kareem Garcia. The count is still even at 2-2. And the question was asked, well, is he healthy? And everybody said yes. Brian Price said no question about the guy's health. He's just making some rough pitches right now.
And spring training basically is for pitchers. That's why they stay down there so long, so they can get 10 or 12 or 15 innings in for a closer.
Yeah.
But
that's not a whole
4
lot.
innings. He only pitched 4 innings in spring training, so he just wasn't ready mechanically and his location.
Swinging a foul back by Garcia, and the count stays at 2-2. Down in Anaheim tonight, the Yankees are leading the Angels by a score of 8-3 in the top half of the 8th.
Rick, take a look at this split finger. If that doesn't do anything there, that's up. That's a fastball. That's a fastball. He's trying to go up and down with the zone, which is a good thing. You can get these hitters looking for split finger down, down, down. You bust them up with a fastball, you get it by him.
And that's down and away. Ball 3, full count 3-2. And on deck, a dangerous hitter in Ellis Burks. One on, one away. The infield double play depth. Ian at short, Boone at second. And it's low for ball 4. Garcia hesitated for a second on the box, so did I, but it's ball 4, and now the Indians have runners at first and second with 1 away. The tying run is on in scoring position. Tomorrow night, game 2 of the 3-game series, Gil Mesh against Ricardo Rodriguez, and then Thursday night, final game of the series, Jamie Moyer against Brian Anderson. 6:30 on Fox and 7 o'clock on KSTW UPN 11. Then the Tigers in town for 3. Here we go. Here is Ellis Burks. Burks 0 for 4. Has stranded 10 runners tonight. 4 in scoring position. He's flied out twice to Cameron at center, struck out and lined out to Boone at second base. Ground ball into the hole. It's short and through for a base hit. Here comes Bradley rounding third. The throw to the plate by Wynn. Not in time, and the game is tied at 3-3. Ellis Burks with a single to left field, scoring Milton Bradley. Another blown save for Kazuhiro Sasaki, his 4th. And the Indians have tied it here in the 9th. Down to second goes Garcia. Burks an RBI single.
I think people will remember this ground ball, but I remember the walk before it. It's just one of those things. You're trying to get a ground ball double play. This ball just finds eye. You look at Wynn trying to make a throw to home plate, but a slow ground ball through the infield, you really don't have much of a chance to get a Bradley scoring from second base.
First and second, one out. Here's Matt Lawton, and Lawton takes a strike, 0-1. Lawton is 2 for 4 with a couple of singles. One and one. Key for any closer, get that leadoff man, and it didn't happen tonight. Milton Bradley, the leadoff single, and didn't happen the last few times out for Kazu down in Anaheim. And there is ball 2, 2-1 the count. So the problems continue for Kazuhiro Sasaki. Falling behind in the count, leaving that splitter up in the strike zone. Garcia, the go-ahead run, is on at second base now with 1 away. Burks on at first.
Yeah, he was a big guy in that lineup where Sasaki ended up walking him.
Strike at the knees, 2-2 on Lawton.
Well, you talked about the leadoff single by Bradley, but they caught a break with the bunt popped up by Vizquel.
Oh,
but the base on balls in between there to
really
Garcia,
hurt.
that's the one that really hurt.
Popped up, shallow left field, going out. Carlos Guillen calling for it. The infield fly rule is in effect, and the batter, Lawton, is automatically out, so 2 down for the Indians here in the 9th. As long as the infielder has time to get back and set up underneath it, the umpires will call the infield fly. So 2 on, 2 away, 1 run in. And the batter is catcher Josh Bard.
And Sasaki said something to Dan Wilson, and he hobbled over to the bench. Rick Griffin ran out, and
this is not a good sign.
No, not very. When the pitcher calls the trainer out to the mound. So I don't speak Japanese, but I can tell something's wrong with Sasaki.
Trainer Rick Griffin out there along with manager Bob Melvin, and that's going to be it for Sasaki. Kazu has to leave the game here, so sometimes you had to think in the back of your mind that there's had to be something wrong. And Sasaki coming off the field with the injury, he hasn't been anywhere near his typical self his last 4 times out now. It has been a major struggle for him, and now Kazu out of the ball game, going back to the clubhouse to be looked at by trainer Rick Griffin, and right-hander Julio Mateo will take over in relief. So the Indians have tied it at 3-3 here in the top half of the ninth. We'll be back after this timeout.
Introducing 54321, the show that brings you inside the world of extreme sports.
On the next Beyond the Glory, Nick Van Exel had NBA talent, but also a chip on his shoulder.
He came in the league really with something to prove.
And was determined to establish himself as one of the league's best players.
He'll shoot you in or he'll shoot you out. He's not going to be a wallflower.
But his legendary temper threatened to end his career.
No, I paid for it. I'm probably still paying for that right now.
Nick Van Exel, Beyond the Glory, Sunday at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
Sports' biggest names come together for the greatest night in sports television as the Best Damn Sports Show period presents the 24th Annual Sports Emmy Awards. And the winner is Be There as the greatest athletes in the world gather in New York City to relive the sports year's most historic moments. The Angels, world champions. Join host Joe Buck for sports television's most spectacular night, the 24th Annual Sports Emmy Awards, Sunday at 6 on Fox Sports Net.
The Indians have tied it at 3-3 here in the top of the ninth. They have runners at first and second with 2 outs, and Kazuhiro Sasaki, the Mariner closer, had to leave this game with an injury after 2/3 of an inning. And here's the last pitch that he threw to Matt Lawton, who popped up to shallow left field.
And you take a look at Kaz. He knows it's popped up, knows it's an out, and after that, he walks over to Dan Wilson and tells him something's wrong.
I just got word from the clubhouse that there was tightness in his lower back. So nothing with his shoulder, nothing with the elbow, tightness in his lower back. And Kazu's saying something to Dan Wilson. There's something wrong. Rick Griffin, the trainer, goes out there to have a talk with Sasaki to find out what the problem is.
And he bends over and tries to relieve his back, his stretch, and of course, a back injury, you don't know how severe it is, so you can't take any chances. Bob Melvin has no choice but to get him into the clubhouse, make a decision on the new pitcher coming in, and it'll be Carrera. And you start looking at Giovanni Carrera. He's done a great job since coming over from the Dodgers. 2.61 ERA, 10 in the 3rd innings, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and it's just a lot of concern with the Mariners now with Sasaki going on the table in there with a back injury. But of course, Carrera gets as many warm-up pitches as he wants because of the injury to Sasaki.
Yeah, Sasaki nowhere near what we've been accustomed to, snapping off that splitter that just dives when it gets up the home plate. Over his last 4 outings, it's just been a major struggle, and you just kind of wondered if he was okay health-wise, and you wondered about the shoulder and the elbow. Tonight, Country Music Night here at Safeco Field, and we were told that he was okay, no problem with that, but tonight it's the problem with his lower back, some tightness in his lower back, and that's why Kazu had to leave the game here in the top of the 9th inning. The Indians have tied it with a run here in the ninth, and this game is all even at 3-3.
And we go back to that inning, and the leadoff single when you're in the ninth trying to close a ball game is tough. But the failed bunt by Vizquel, but the big walk is the one that really killed him in Kareem Garcia. And then, you know, you're looking for a ground ball from Ellis Burks. He gets the ground ball. Finds a hole. And we feared this. As long as you let the Indians stay in a ball game, they feel they have a chance to win. If you blow them out early, they'll say, hey, these guys are better than we are. We're supposed to lose. Let's go get them tomorrow. Yeah. But they stayed in the ball game. And, of course, if you stay in it, any team has a chance to beat you.
Mariners had that 3-0 lead, but the Indians won in the 5th, won in the 8th, and now a run here in the 9th, and they still have 2 on with 2 outs. Here's Josh Bard to face the new pitcher, right-hander Giovanni Carrera. Carrera and Hasegawa, the 2 right-handers, to get left-handed hitters out. There's a little breaking ball that just misses away for ball 1. Trying to send the game to the bottom of the 9th inning, tied. This is away. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes on Bard.
Well, surely the Mariners are not accustomed to giving up leads in the 9th inning. Over the last 2 or 3 years, they've been almost perfect. And these fans and everybody around the Northwest expect Sasaki, Nelson, and Rose to be perfect every time out.
And it's low for ball 3. 3-0 on Bard. Casey Blake is due up next if Bard reaches. There's a look at Blake on deck. Taken all the way. Bard for a strike, 3-1. So Freddie Garcia no longer the pitcher of record, with Sasaki giving up the run here in the top of the 9th inning. So Freddie will come away with no decision, going 6 in the 3rd innings, gave up only 1 run. Low and outside for ball 4. So Bard with a walk, and the Indians have the bases loaded now with 2 outs. Bard on at first base. Burks down at second. Kareem Garcia's on at third. Brings up first base. Well, there won't be Blake. Here comes Selby. Bill Selby,
pinch hitter.
Did an outstanding job for the Indians last year off the bench as a pinch hitter. Selby this year has only 1 hit in 13 at-bats, a batting average of .077. And 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter. So here is Selby with the bases loaded and 2 outs and a 3-3 tie in the 9th. Dan Wilson and Carrera visit out in front of the mound. On scouting report on how to go after Selby. Normally you sit around and talk about Burks and Vizquel and Garcia, those guys in the middle part of the order, Lawton. And just a little reminder, what about this guy?
Well, you go through the hitters meeting and you forget some of the guys batting 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. You got to go over those guys too.
Strike on Selby. 0-1. Giovanni Carrera, nice job with the Dodgers last year. 6-3 record, working in 66 games and working over 90 innings. One ball and 1 strike. fouled away up the top of the screen behind home plate. 1-2 on Bill Selby. So Carrera with the count his way. Bases are loaded. Garcia on at third base. Burks on at second. Bard, the runner at first, with 2 down and a run in here in the ninth. The Indians tied it on the single to left field by Ellis Burks. Fans on their feet here at Safeco Field. Looking for one more out here in the ninth inning to send Wynn up. Boone and Martinez in the bottom of the ninth. The 1-2 pitch is a curve that's outside for ball 2, 2-2.
Nervous cowgirl right there.
Country music night here at Safeco Field. Up and away, ball 3. Full count, 3-2, and now with 2 outs, the runners can take off.
Puts a little bit more anxiety and pressure on the defense because you take away the force play at the bases. And of course, a long single, Bard at first base has a chance to score.
The 3-2 pitch. Line drive into center field. That'll score Garcia and Burks. Up with the ball is M.Cameron. The throw goes to third, and it's cut off by Carlos Guillen. So the Indians now take the lead 5-3. 3 runs in for the Indians here in the top half of the ninth. Bill Selby with a pinch hit. 2-run single to center. And it comes with 2 outs here in the ninth.
Well, Carrera has to come with a strike, a lowered away fastball, and typically when you're late in the ball game, you don't really try to jam guys. You go low and away, you put the pressure on that hitter. Selby does a nice job, hits it up the middle under a pressure situation.
2 on and 2 away. 3 runs are in. And here is John McDonald, who sends a fly ball into straightaway center field and shallow. M.Cameron dives, slides, and he makes the catch. Oh, what a play by M.Cameron. The first base umpire going out to make the call. That's Bill Miller. And M.Cameron saves 2 runs right there with that diving, sliding catch on the ball hit by John McDonald. What a play by M.Cameron. But the Indians score 3 times to take the lead 5-3, and we go to the bottom half of the ninth. Here's a look at tonight's scoring summary. Bases loaded for the Mariners, and here's how they got there. John Olerud with this leadoff double in the bottom of the 4th.
M.Cameron gets hit on the hip. Sabathia trying to bore that fastball in. Same thing with Cirillo. Breaking ball in, forcing the ball in on these right-handed hitters. Hits 2 batters. Then Dan Wilson, bases loaded, hits the ball over the right fielder, Kareem Garcia's head into a double, and a big double scores all 3 runners. Jeff Cirillo got a great jump off of first base.
Mariners with the 3-0 lead, and then the Indians start their comeback in the top of the 5th inning. Travis Hafner with this home run to straightaway right field, his 3rd home run of the season, and it's a 3-1 ball game. Top half of the 8th inning with 1 out. Josh Bard with a double. Then with 2 outs, Shane Spencer with a pinch hit single into center field. That scores Bard, and it's a 3-2 ball game. Mariners turn the game over to Kazuhiro Sasaki in the 9th inning. Ellis Burks with a base hit through the hole in short. That scores Milton Bradley, and the game is tied at 3-3.
And that's when Sasaki gets hurt, comes off the field, and then we have the base hit by Bill Selby. 2 outs with the bases loaded. The big hit of the ball game puts the Indians ahead.
Garcia and Burks score on the play, so the Indians 3 in the 9th. They were down by 1. They now lead by a couple, 5-3. And the Mariners will send up Randy Wynn, Brett Boone, and Edgar Martinez.
Well, the Cleveland Indians bring in their closer, Danny Baez, to close this ball game out. A former reliever throwing very hard, a converted starter, middle guy. Now he's their closer. You see him 0-1, 3 saves and 4 opportunities, 159. Throws very, very hard with a hard slider.
Here's Randy Wynn to try to get something going. Low, ball one. Well, Bill Selby, who had the big hit, had 2-run pinch hit single in the top of the 9th inning, takes over at first base for Casey Blake. Danny Baez on in relief. Strike at the belt with a fastball, 1-1 on Wynn. If you just tuned in, Kazuhiro Sasaki had to come out of the game in the top of the 9th inning with tightness in his lower back. And all 3 runs were charged to Sasaki in the 9th. Out of play on the third base side, 2-2. Ball back up the middle. Vizquel with a dive. Want to stop the throw to first, and it's not in time, and dropped by Selby. But holy smokes, what an effort by Omar Vizquel. The shortstops don't even get to that ball. An infield base hit for Randy Wynn. And the Mariners right away will bring the tying run to the plate.
You're right, Rick. With this speed of Randy Wynn, Omar Vizquel knows he has to hurry. He's one of the quickest in the game of getting up to his feet and throwing to first base, but too much speed for Randy Wynn.
Back up the middle, diving stop. Look how quickly he gets up, and the throw not in time, and it's also dropped by Selby. Here's Brett Boone, ball 1 the count. Brett is 0 for 4.
Baez with a split finger grip outside his glove so he can change it when it goes in.
Up and in, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Baez, the new closer for the Cleveland Indians. What a performance by Terry Mulholland in relief ender. 3 innings. Didn't give up a hit.
Nada.
He walked 3. No strikeouts. Mariners looking for a comeback of their own here in the bottom of the 9th inning, down by a couple. Low, ball 3, 3-0 on Brett Boone. Edgar is due up next.
Well, we saw how important that leadoff hitter is when a closer goes out to close the ball game. Now he's down in the count, 3-0 to Brett Boone, facing the middle part of the Mariners lineup.
Up and in, ball 4. So Danny Baez walks Brett Boone. That'll send Randy Wynn down to second, and right away the Mariners will bring the winning run to home plate in Edgar Martinez. Pitching coach Carl Willis. A slow walk out to the mound to have a talk with Danny Baez. So here come the Mariners in the bottom of the 9th.
It's that fine line if you're a closer. Everybody says don't walk them, but they don't want you to throw it down the middle either and let them hit it. So you have to dibble at the corners, make great pitches. But Danny Baez misses off the inside corner a few times with Brett Boone. Now he finds himself into a pickle.
Danny Baez very careful with Boone because Boone was 3 for 8 against Baez with 2 home runs. He walks him. So Boone represents the tying run at first base. Now here comes Edgar, and Edgar against Baez is 2 for 8. 1 of the 2 hits, a home run.
And that's when Danny Baez was a starter for the Indians. And when you're a starter, you use your whole arsenal. When you're a closer, you use 1 or 2 pitches. You don't go to 3 or 4 pitches. So the Mariners can cut down on some of the pitches that Danny Baez throws. He's going to go fastball, split finger.
Fastball at the strike. 4 strike at the knees on Edgar, 0-1. Edgar 0 for 3 tonight. Down at second base, Randy Wynn, Brett Boone on at first base. Nobody out, bottom of the 9th. Low and outside for ball 1, 1-1.
course, Danny Baez has the stuff to be a closer, but closer is mostly mentality. Your mentality, your mental outlook when you go out there. You got to be able to throw strikes, throw them in decent places, know when you have a hitter on edge, and you got to have an awesome pitch, a freak pitch to get them out.
Fouled away by Edgar, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Closers belong to that special breed. They want the ball in that situation. Norm Charlton type guy who was so successful for the Mariners. Kazuhiro Sasaki. Back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Randy Wynn. He will score on the single by Edgar, and how about the hustle by Boone? He winds up on at third base. The tying run is only 90 feet away. On the single by Edgar Martinez, Randy Wynn scores. It's a 5-4 Cleveland lead, but Brett Boone hustles around to third base, and that was so key on that base hit by Edgar.
You called it, Rick. Brett Boone, knowing that the center fielder and Milton Bradley playing very deep, protecting, so a ground ball through the middle, he's going to take a shot to get in scoring position to get to third. Try to force the throw to third to get Edgar to second, but Edgar comes up with a big base hit because a ball on the ground to an infielder, you know it's going to be a double play. Edgar hitting with that in his mind, hits it right back up the gut.
John Olerud takes a pitch high for ball 1. Willie Bloomquist has gone out to pinch run for Edgar at first base. The amazing Edgar Martinez with a clutch RBI single to make it a 1-run game. Cleveland up 5-4, and there's a look at Willie. Now the tying run is only 90 feet away. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Great hustle by Brett Boone, and that's exactly what he did the other day in a win against Anaheim.
Got extra effort by a base runner.
Ball 2. 2-0 the count on John.
And talking to Eric Wedge before the game, you could tell his concern with Edgar. He knew he had bad wheels, but he says, I still fear this guy because of the bat. We know Edgar can hit. He's been devastating for over 14 years now, and managers know that before the series starts. They know the guy they want to stay away from, and Edgar comes up with a big hit anyway.
Hit a shot right on by the pitcher. Baez into center field. And it's high for ball 3. 3-0 the count on John Olerud. There he is, Edgar Martinez. Now only 9 hits away from 2,000. Huge RBI single here in the bottom of the 9th for Edgar. And John takes up and away for ball 4. And the Mariners have the bases loaded. And that'll force the winning run into scoring position at second base in Willie Bloomquist. The Indians lead 5-4, but now the Mariners have Boone at third. Bloomquist, the winning run, is on at second. John Olerud at first base, and still nobody out in here. Center fielder Mike Cameron. And the infield for the Indians has to come in for plate-to-plate. Cammy with 3 career grand slam home runs. But right now, the Mariners just need a base hit to win this game. Fastball for a strike, 0-1.
And what happens when you bring that infield in around the grass, it just cuts off their range, and they don't go for the double play in this situation because they don't want to tie this ball game and let the Mariners get back in it. But it increases your batting average about 100 points because of the range factor.
High fly ball deep to left field. Back to the track, Lawton. Goodbye, baseball. Mike Cameron with a walk-off game-winning grand slam home run. Holy smokes, what a way to win it. The Mariners over the Indians by a score of 8-5. Mike Cameron with his 4th career grand slam home run. A walk-off grand salami here in the bottom of the 9th inning. What a comeback for Mike Cameron, his 2nd home run of the year, and the Mariners win game 1 of this 3-game series. What a fantastic finish, folks, here at Safeco Field tonight.
a heartbreaker. If you want to break somebody's heart, steal the game in the bottom of the ninth from a closer. That devastates a team. And you look at the smile on M.Cameron's face. He's had a little trouble at Safeco Field, but it's not how many hits you get, Rick. It's when you get them. He comes up with the biggest one this year.
How about that? A walk-off grand slam, game-winning home run here in the bottom of the ninth. Final score here at Safeco Field. The Mariners 8 and the Indians 5. Right now, let's join up with Angie and Bill in the Northwest Sports Report studios. Wow.